Gather round. Welcome to the Racing Roundup Show, your destination for news and interviews within the Wisconsin racing scene, the upper Midwest, and from the world of motorsports. Thank you for joining us for our 38th season, America's longest-running weekly motorsports program held in front of a live audience. Tell your friends they still have time to join the racing crowd for tonight's show. And now, here is the host of the Racing Roundup Show, Jim Trado.
Hey gang, how you doing? Glad to see you here on a Tuesday night. It's our final show of our 38th season. We've got a bunch of folks climbing in and having some good times with us. You're welcome to join us. We're at Polly's Pub and Eatery, 81st and Greenfield. It's right across from the Milwaukee Mile. We couldn't tell you how much fun we've had this season here at Polly's Pub and Eatery. It's a Brewers shuttle night again tonight. Every time a Milwaukee Brewers game happens in Milwaukee, hop on the shuttle here, a couple of pops, and now you're on your way. Easy, no worries about parking. Hop on the shuttle here from Polly's and head on back to Polly's after the game. It's easy peasy, and looking forward to having some more fun because Polly's has stuff going on every night of the week. Kitchen's open 7 days a week. It's a great place to be. We're thankful to Polly and the whole staff here for having us once again this season. It's our last program, so come on down and join us. We got a ton of giveaways after the show. Believe me, we've got everybody covered. Help us celebrate an outstanding year as well. We got a number of sponsors here with us tonight. Looking forward to having you join us as well. The Brad Miller is on the way from BMR Electric Karts, and he's going to be here to chat about his business and his racing season on the dirt and asphalt in 3 different types of race cars and trucks. We're highlighting several of our loyal show sponsors tonight, and we're taking we'll be talking with the ARCA Midwest Tour driver, Levon Vandergeest, who's here tonight about the season-ending Oktoberfest 200 race on Sunday, October 9th. That wraps up the ARCA Midwest Tour season and puts a big period on a huge Oktoberfest race weekend. By the way, we've got tickets to give away to Oktoberfest to someone here tonight after the show. 2 tickets for all 4 days to Oktoberfest. Thank you, Chuck Deary and Greg McCarnes. They're in my hand. You can win them tonight. Come on down to Polly's. That's part of the great prize cachet we have, as well as this beautiful helmet from Interstate Batteries and other cool prizes. Lots to tell you about here on this program, but come on down. Make your plans now. No worries. Don't wait. Come on down. Join us here at Polly's Pub and Eatery for our final show this season. We're talking to Levon Vandergeest about Oktoberfest. We have Midwest Truck Series Clutch Energy Drink Rookie of the Year candidate Aaron Moyer is here. John Wood is here dressed in team uniform for Midwest Truck Series. We're looking forward to having John on a little bit, talking about their 2 big races. They'll wrap up their season at the Dells following 150 weekend on Saturday, October 22nd, and at Oktoberfest in a couple Saturdays' time. Speaking of DRP, Bill Holland time featuring the Dells Raceway Park Midwest Showdown Championship in several different divisions. Dean Strom is here as also well to deliver the Bonafide Security Solutions Short Track Report. And I ought to tell you this, it's sad to say this, but it's got to be said. Several people in our racing family are hurting right now over the tragic passing of B.J. Dahlke. B.J. and his dad, Butch, been around racing forever. B.J. and his young daughter, Addison, were killed in a fatal road accident last Wednesday, and it's really upsetting a lot of people because B.J.'s young. His daughter is a preteen, right around the time she's going to be a teenager, and is just sad to know that they're gone, and there's a lot of people hurting in our Badger Midget community and our friends and family that know the Dahlkes. They've been around racing a long time, so our deepest sympathies go out to Todd Cleaver, Amy Schultz, Brandon Welty, just some of the folks I know, and all of our friends loss of B.J. Dahlke and his young daughter Addison in a road accident. There has been a GoFundMe page set up for their families. You can find that. Also, the families of B.J. and Addison Dahlke would like to have them join you for a celebration of life gathering, a gathering to remember and the happy times and fond memories of B.J. and Addison, who brought much love, happiness, and joy to each of us. Please join them at the Pavilion at Angel Park Speedway in Sun Prairie on Sunday, October 16th at 1 p.m. There'll be food, cash bar, and loved ones all around. Again, that's in the support of the folks and friends and a celebration of life for B.J. and Addison Dahlke, Sunday, October 16, 1 p.m. at the Pavilion at Angel Park Speedway. It should be something to keep in mind. Life is precious. Enjoy the day. Enjoy the moment. We love our show. We love carrying on our program. And we'll do that with a couple of really cool guests on our first segment and every segment here tonight. It's our final show. Come on down and join the racing crowd. We're live here at Polly's Pub and Eatery on the Racing Roundup Show.
Thanks for tuning in to the Racing Roundup Show. Check out our website, racingroundup.show.com, and like our show on Facebook. Join us on Twitter and Instagram at Racing Roundup. We're coming right back after these messages from our awesome show sponsors.
Add value and beauty to your home or commercial property with professional landscaping from Central Services Company, Incorporated. The team at Central Services is their personal choice of over 45 years of satisfied customers in Southeast Wisconsin for landscape design, construction, and grounds maintenance. Call Central Services at 262-548-0005 for all your landscaping and lawn care needs. No job is too large or too small. From lawn fertilization and weed control to award-winning landscape construction and building your backyard patio oasis, Central Services is your full-service landscape company. Call the experts at Central Services at 262-548-0005 for a free, no-obligation consultation at your home or business. Find out why Central Services can provide you with the visual difference in the art of landscaping and lawn care. Call 262-548-0005. Central Services, the visual difference in landscaping.
Bobby Gutnick and the technicians at Oak Creek Automotive on South 27th Street in Drexel are experts in automotive repair. For over 30 years and counting, the Napa Certified Car Care Center at Oak Creek Automotive handles emissions testing plus minor to major repair. From oil changes to engine and transmission replacement. Call Oak Creek Automotive 414-761-3250. They're open for your convenience Monday through Thursday, 7 a.m. till 9 p.m. and Friday, 7 a.m. till 6 p.m. For all your vehicle repair needs, head to South 27th Street and Drexel to the pros at Oak Creek Automotive.
Get your whole family involved in affordable, competitive kart racing at Millwright Raceway in Dousman, Wisconsin, home of the Badger Kart Club. Walk the pit area, talk to racers, and check out the action from the grandstands. There's a play area for the kids and great food at the concession stand. Spectator admission is free. Badger Kart Club points racers and National Touring Series race on the challenging paved road course most Sundays from April through September. Badger Kart Club is well established and well respected. There's 15 classes and over 100 drivers racing every week. From ages 5 to 75, kart racing offers competition for generations of racers of all ages. Bring the kids and check out kart racing for yourself at one of America's finest kart tracks. This is where Alan Kowicki, Danica Patrick, Sam Mayer, and Josh Palicki got their start. Millwright Raceway is just south of I-94 in Dousman, 35 miles west of Milwaukee, and 45 miles east of Madison. For all the latest information, directions, and race schedule, visit BadgerKartClub.com.
ARR has been recycling for over 80 years and is here to help you with your spring cleaning. Take them your recyclable metals and they'll pay you cash. ARR buys aluminum, brass, copper, lead, and steel. And contractors, ARR has a bonus program just for you that puts more cash in your pocket. Find their full list of accepted materials at ARR1938.com. ARR with locations in West Allis, Waukesha, and Milwaukee, right next to Miller Park. ARR Recycling since 1938.
It's the granddaddy of short track racing in the Midwest. The 53rd running of the Oktoberfest race weekend. October 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th at La Crosse Fairgrounds Speedway. Don't miss the intense competition as drivers throughout the Midwest converge at La Crosse Speedway for 4 days of great stock car racing. On Thursday, see 6 divisions compete, including Super Late Model, Sportsman, and double features for the La Crosse Late Models. Friday, 3 divisions will grind it out, including the Super Late Models in the popular Dick Trickle 99. A 99-lap race run in 3 33-lap segments. Then on Saturday, 3 divisions, including the ARCA Midwest Tour Late Models. Then it's the Big 8 Late Models battling for their season championship. Sunday you will see vintage race cars, late models, plus the granddaddy of all Midwest racing events, the Oktoberfest 200. 200 grueling laps of strategy, maneuvers, and hard-charging racing in Wisconsin's oldest and most prestigious short-track racing event. Attention, save with a multi-day wristband. It's the 53rd annual Oktoberfest race weekend, October 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th at La Crosse Fairgrounds Speedway. Visit OktoberfestRaceWeekend.com for details and advance tickets. Be there.
Lots to talk about, lots of racing still going on. Here's for the commercial for Oktoberfest. You also heard from some of our great sponsors on the program. Thank you, Central Services and the Border family. They've been around here since day one. Central Services Company, landscaping, lawn care, snow removal. You got an idea, they can put it to use and put it to work with some great designs, including some beautiful woodwork now they can do on your patio. So by all means, Central Services, 262-548-0005 is the number you want to call right now. If you're looking to sell or buy a home or commercial property, choose Matt Rapina, Caldwell Banker, Home Sale Realty. List and buy with confidence. Hire a realtor that has the knowledge and expertise to get your deal done. Not all realtors are the same. Choose Caldwell Banker, Home Sale Realty, and list it with Matt Rapina. Knowledge is power. Hire knowledge. The website to go to, mattrapina.com, mattrapina.com. It's time for the Interstate Batteries of Southeast Wisconsin NASCAR report. It's time, and once again, Interstate is a founding sponsor of Joe Gibbs Racing. I'd like to remind you that Interstate Batteries are the #1 replacement battery in North America, and Interstate Batteries of Southeast Wisconsin has a battery for every need. Visit interstatebatteries.com to find a dealer near you. I found one sitting next to me. Let's give a nice hand for Greg Koltek and his sponsorship of the show from Interstate Batteries. Greg, good to see you.
Thank you, Jim, for having us on the show once again.
Thanks for wearing the fancy jacket, and you gave us everything else you found in the closet. We've got a helmet to give away. We've got hats to give away. We've got a metal sign that you might see it at the auto repair shop you go to. It's the cool number 18 race car that goes on the wall at their shop. We got one of those to give away tonight. We also have some other cool stuff, including a race car battery-powered 2 cars. Look to be like 124 scale, can race them. Batteries included. Yeah, batteries included on the outside. Interstate's got a battery for every need. Thanks for bringing all that stuff tonight to give away.
Absolutely, Jim. Again, thanks for being on the show. Really appreciate that. And also want to congratulate you and your entire team on another winning season. Was it 38 seasons?
Yep.
That is impressive.
Yeah.
38 seasons.
Well, it's because of you and other people that want to be part of this. We love doing it, and it's really neat to have you here. Thank you for that.
Of course.
You gave us a cool game to give away. You brought us M&Ms on a given occasion. Flashlight keychains. We're giving more of those away tonight.
Great.
Thank you for all those gifts. I also noticed the Interstate Batteries logo in NASCAR has been moving around a little bit. Ty Gibbs has had it on his car. Martin Truex on his car. Kyle Busch on his car. Kyle's moving on. Any word on where Interstate Batteries will be flying with Joe Gibbs next year?
Wow. Well, Jim, I'm excited you asked me that question, that hot burning question that everybody wants to know the answer to. And we're going to break some news here tonight on the Racing Roundup show. Who's going to pilot the number 18 JGR Team Interstate Cup car? The official announcement is we have no announcement, unfortunately, Jim.
Man, you are such a tease.
Yeah, JGR, right, wrong, or indifferent, has decided to double down, focus on the balance of the season as they probably should, and then make that important announcement next year. That being said, Jim, I think there's 2 things to focus on. Who's going to pilot? Well, first of all, let me back up. Interstate Batteries is as committed as we have ever been to the world of motorsports. As you mentioned, founded and sponsored Joe Gibbs Racing, 30-plus years in this sport. We're not going anywhere. We're dedicated to the world of motorsports. Secondly, the best way to answer that question, who's going to pilot the number 18 JGR Toyota Camry, is you've got to look at history. History is a great indicator of the future. Kyle mentioned in that infamous press conference a few weeks ago, he thanked Interstate Batteries, Norm Miller, the chairman of Interstate Batteries, for taking a chance on a young driver, a young Kyle Busch. Well, as you mentioned, the Interstate's been moving around a little bit. I think we were on the car of Ty Gibbs, another young up-and-comer, right, wrong, or indifferent, whether in the camp. A lot of people believe he's going to be a superstar in the sport. If I was a betting man, I'd bet that potentially Ty Gibbs will be piloting the number 18 next year for Joe Gibbs Racing.
You heard it here first. 2020, he actually wore the Interstate Batteries logo on the lower quarter panel of his number 18 Arkham Series car that he drove. So it should be kind of cool to see how that may play out, and we'll keep you to that.
It's not official.
I know.
Okay.
I'd like to see it, though.
All right. Yes.
Makes sense.
Yes.
Makes a lot of sense. Hey, we talk about Interstate Batteries of Southeast Wisconsin. Do you guys have a storefront, or do you want people to find dealers? I know you're working all the time with new people.
We love partnering with dealers and other outlets. So if anyone's looking for an Interstate battery, which we hope you always are, just go to interstatebatteries.com, go to the dealer locator. You're going to find many of your loved local independent shops, such as Oak Creek Automotive, who's not currently sponsored by Interstate Batteries at this time, but we won't hold that against them.
All right. So but you have it at Olson's Outdoor Power Equipment. That's one of our sponsors.
We love Olson's Outdoor Power Equipment.
Yep.
So, yes, just go to interstatebatteries.com, find a dealer near you, and you're going to find a number of your local as well as some of the dreaded big boxes out there.
And I saw little boxes and big boxes of batteries at Costco. So you guys are really picking it up in the area.
Costco, Fleet Farm, soon-to-be Tractor Supply, and many other great, wonderful partners. But just go to interstatebatteries.com.
Sounds like a plan. Greg, you're pinned in here. Relax and enjoy this. Thank you again for your support on the show.
Thank you.
Thank you, Greg Goltek. On the track, let's talk about Interstate Batteries NASCAR Report. We do it every Tuesday here. Tyler Reddick survived Texas Motor Speedway to win his 3rd Cup Series race of the season. There were a rash of tire issues that played a role in 16 caution periods and a 1-hour weather delay on Sunday. Joe Logano grabs the point lead after a second-place race in the race. Justin Haley matched his career best finish of 3rd in the Cup race ahead of Ryan Blaney and past Racing Roundup show guest Chase Briscoe. Playoff drivers that have serious needs to perform well at Talladega this Sunday. Yeah, that's a wild card race. Including Alex Bowman, who finished 29th at Texas. Chase Elliott, 32nd. Christopher Bell, 34th. Kyle Busch, in the Interstate Batteries 18, said he flat out lost it and spun into the wall with the back end first. Done. Finished last on Sunday. Not a great playoffs run for Kyle Busch, but man, keep in mind, he wants to win as badly as his team does in a big way. On Saturday at Texas, Noah Gragson became the first Xfinity Series driver to win 4 races in a row since Sam R. did it in 1983. No one's ever won 5, and they're headed to Talladega this weekend. Gregson's Junior Motorsports teammates were up front as well. Justin Allgaier was racing with the leader when they tangled in a wreck that included 9 cars. Josh Berry finished 6th in Franklin, Wisconsin. Sam Mayer finished 8th from the Junior Motorsports camp at Texas on Saturday. This weekend, Nacita's Johnny Sauter returns to the NASCAR Truck Series at Talladega in the number 13 truck for Thor Sport Racing. There are 41 trucks in the entry list, 36 starting spots, and I don't believe Johnny's 39th place in owner's points. It will be enough to get him in. I'm just saying, a lot of teams have a few more starts in the 13 truck this year, so look for Johnny on speed, and as well as Natalie Decker out of Eagle River. She's actually entered the number 43 truck for Rayon Brothers, I think, or is it Nice? I forget now. I think it's Nice. She is in a truck that doesn't have a lot of points either, 36th in points for the year. 7-time Cup Series champion. Hear about this? Jimmy Johnson? Yeah, he's pretty good. He also ran IndyCars full-time last year. He said, I'm done running full-time. Made that announcement yesterday. Said he needs more family time. He's got a bucket list of races he wants to try. My first bucket list announcement will be, as Greg Koltek likes to do, we're breaking news on the Racing Roundup show. He'll be racing with Jeff Gordon in Le Mans. In the 24-hour Le Mans, there's a special invited-only category. Jeff Gordon's already tested the car. Hendrick Motorsports is fielding the car. I'm saying Jeff and Jimmy are teaming up for that one in Le Mans next spring. That'll be kind of fun to see. I was at the Indy 500 this year watching Jimmy. I don't know if he wants to go back because he actually was one of the 6 or 7 cars that got loose off of 2 and hit the wall individually. And it was a rough race to run, and I'm glad he did it, and I'm glad I was there to see it. But I don't know if he'll go back to the Indy 500. He also said, I'm not ruling out returning to a NASCAR race if it fits my schedule and it makes sense. So we could see Jimmy back someday at a track or a race that he likes to run, maybe the new Auto Club Speedway or something. I'd love to see him race the old Auto Club Speedway and show the boys how it's done on the big 2-mile. Hey, this Saturday, I'm in the booth live on MAV TV. This Saturday, tune in the penultimate, Dean loves that word, penultimate ARCA Menard Series race at Salem Speedway in Southern Indiana. Race time is 4 p.m. Central. Nick Sanchez leads Daniel Dodd by 5 points. Heading into Salem and Toledo Speedways the next 2 Saturdays, and I'll be there with MAV TV in the booth for both of those races. Again, this Saturday and next Saturday. And I would be remiss if I didn't say this is a cool segment. It's the Interstate Batteries NASCAR Report, and we've got Dean Strom and myself here every week because we love short track racing, love talking about racing, but I want to brag a bit about Dean. He has now been the voice of NASCAR at 4 short track races added to his already busy schedule in Virginia, at Martinsville and Richmond this year, in addition to his Michigan Speedway, Watkins Glen International, Auto Club Speedway, the Clash at LA Coliseum, and Daytona August race weekend. So Dean is certainly part of this NASCAR report and part of our family, so it's really cool to have Dean as part of our deal. When his schedule permits, I get to go to play at Homestead Miami Speedway with Dean in October, as well as I get to go back to Phoenix for the finale, so that'll be a lot of fun. So we love NASCAR, we love talking about all things racing, and we want to tell you that we are way involved, and we can't thank Interstate Batteries enough for their involvement. One quick added note, I know this is our last show, so if you have a DVR and you want to set it now, I love MAV TV. And MAV TV on Flow Racing. You can see our show on Flow Racing on the apps. It looks down for the show listings, and we're there thanks to MAV TV. 2 more special event broadcasts I'll be part of is next Thursday, the Toyota Classic. That's the 500 Sprint Car Tour at Anderson Speedway on the quarter mile. That'll be live on MAV TV next Thursday night. Not this, but next Thursday night, October 6th. And I just got invited to, and I said yes before they even told me what I was going to do. I'm going back to Irwindale Speedway on November 12th. It's a Saturday. And they're racing at Irwindale Speedway with the super late models, and that'll be live on MAV TV as well, so I get to follow my passion even after this show concludes. So I just want to tell you that that's coming up on November 12th for that deal. We now welcome in a couple of guys that are still really busy with their season here locally. They've got a big race coming up October 8th. It's a Saturday affair at Oktoberfest, La Crosse Fairgrounds Speedway. They're also racing on Saturday, October 22nd at Dells Raceway Park, and the following races to decide their championships. Well, let's welcome in a Clutch Energy Drink Rookie of the Year candidate, Aaron Moyer, and the man who runs the series, John Wood with the Midwest Truck Series. Guys, thanks for coming down.
It's cool to be here. Thanks, Jim, for inviting us.
Did you find us, John? Because Aaron's truck is sitting out here all pretty ready to go for Oktoberfest. That's you said, hey, I'm going to find his truck and turn it into Polly's. Is that how you got here?
Well, I heard they had beer here, so no, seriously.
Cold beer, lots of it.
Yes, it's great. But no, obviously I seen Aaron's truck sitting there, and it sure looks nice. He does such a great job, him and his family and crew guys, and I was excited when he come on board at the end of last year.
I was going to ask you about the rookie candidates that officially are rookies this year, John. We're talking about Eugene Gregorich III. We've got a lot of different guys that are looking at this. Kevin Zilozinski as well, and Aaron Moyer. They're all top 10 in points in a very tough field. That says a lot about what you guys have going on.
Oh, my gosh. I mean, unfortunately, Aaron had some problem earlier in the year. If he wouldn't have, I think he would be leading right now. It's just, my guess. But I tell you what, Eugene and Kevin, I mean, they've been doing a great job, and Aaron is right there with them. Can't count nobody out yet. It's going to be exciting.
All right, Aaron, let's bring you in. You brought your beautiful truck. Thank you for doing that. What has been the most fun about racing with these Midwest Truck Series teams this year for a full season?
Well, I think the cool thing is, and part of the reason I got into the trucks is you get to hit a lot of different cool racetracks. I mean, I've never been to La Crosse, so that's going to be.
So you haven't been there yet?
Nope.
Okay.
No, not at all. So that'll be another curveball and another little bit of a learning curve. Some of these other tracks, though, Dells Raceway Park, Jefferson, Marshfield, we've run these in the Legend cars, and at least some of the racing grooves are pretty similar, and we've got a little bit of background knowledge with that.
You've done really well in Legends cars. I mean, really good at a high level. What was that adjustment like going to the Midwest Truck Series and knowing that the equipment is fairly similar to everybody else's? You had advantages at the Legends cars because of how good you got and what you got to do on those cars, even a little sliver. Seemed like there might be a little smaller margin here for what you can play with the Midwest Truck Series.
I think that's part of the reason I got into the trucks is you're not going to get all bought, and it really comes down to the guy in the shop, behind the wheel, and we ran Legend cars for a long time all over the country, and I didn't want to get away from going to different racetracks. And there's a lot of principles that stay the same in setting a race car up, whether it's a Legend car or a Midwest truck, as far as you should be setting your race car up in the same spot every week. Make sure you got your race tires on there. It's just a lot of small details that I learned throughout the years working on these Legend cars that maybe you wouldn't think transfer over, but a lot of this stuff does.
John Wood is here with the series. Aaron Moyer we're chatting with as well. One of the drivers going for those last two races to get maybe a top 5 in points. I noticed the points differences. I can't tell you how many points you score on a given night, but you got a shot, Aaron. And John, let's talk about this. You've got 2 big races coming up yet, and you've had a great season already.
Yes, I have. Thank you. And I tell you what, as far as the championship battle, I mean, James Swan, he leads 157 points over Cody Hubred.
Is that achievable in 2 races to overcome?
Nothing's impossible.
Okay.
You know, if somebody hijacks James and locks his trailer.
He's had a birthday coming up, so if you can't find him for a few days, he'll probably resurface. But if just in case, it goes till October 8th.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
And I mean, Cody, he come along this year, and he's really doing great. He won a race a few weeks ago, and that was exciting when he did that. I was really happy for him. And then Kevin Knizia, I mean, he just stays right in there, and he's right behind Cody on points, and he could get second. He's in 3rd place right now, but obviously he could get into second. It ain't going to be too tough. But as far as either of them boys winning, I believe James has got it handled again.
We don't know how many titles that is, though, do we? Is that going to be 5, 4, 3?
I believe it's going to be 5,
5?
In the Midwest Truck Series.
That's amazing.
Yeah, James does a great job, and he earns a lot of respect, but he works hard. Him and Katie and the rest of the crew, I'll applaud them guys. They do work hard, and they play hard, though.
Oh, yeah.
They're always the last ones in the pits at the end of the night.
They champion themselves in the fact that if you need to see somebody and you don't have a chance to talk to James yet, you'll have time. He'll be there.
You'll
no
have
rush.
time. But, no, it's enjoyable for me to see these, some of the younger people do as well. Then you got the old guys, like James, seasoned veteran, as they say.
But think about this. You have a playground that I see nowhere else. You've got veterans. You've got guys like Aaron coming out of Legends to learn, and you're racing hard. I mean, you're getting to race these guys. It's not a matter of saying, okay, you get to maybe run a heat race, and that's it. You're racing longer races at a lot of different racetracks here. And how have you adapted and enjoyed that fact that you're racing against Swanee and Knizia and these guys, and they're tough, and you're right there with them?
It certainly is pretty cool. I mean, racing against Brad at Slinger this year, that was probably the most fun I had in a race car.
I watched that race. You're talking about Brad Miller. Yeah, you guys went at it. That was cool in the truck series.
Yep, and I knew I couldn't let him get around me, and I gave him a little bit of rubbing there, but I knew if I could keep him behind me, I probably had a good shot at it. But he was pretty strong on the outside there.
Yes, he was. He made the outside work, which is fun as well, because the truck series, man, you got to get it right.
Yeah,
if that truck handles, sure. And we were talking before the show, and I'm really thankful that we're here to discuss this in the format. We can spend a few more minutes and talk about it. But Aaron, we talked about preparation, And the amount of time you get on the racetrack is not a ton, considering you're one of 3, 4, 5 divisions in a given night or weekend.
Correct. Yeah, and we learned that at WIR this year. We were up there the week before testing, and we had practice tires on. We get to race day, we threw our race tires on, and it was not the same car it was when we went and tested. We weren't terrible, but we weren't all that great either, and it just. Little things like that will take a little bit of time to figure out as far as how to go to the next week and be better. But I mean, nonetheless, it is pretty cool racing with these guys that have won races all over the country and all these big races in Wisconsin, and running door to door with them is fun. Yeah,
I mean, Brad Miller's a 3-time Slinger champ. He's run a ton of Midwest Tour races. He still runs on the dirt. You've got James Swan, who's run everything. He's a Rookie of the Year in the Midwest Tour. You've got Cody Hurbred, who ran supers and late models for a long time.
Yep.
He's now back in the series. John, this is a healthy crop of people. How do you keep growing it like that?
Well, I'll tell you what, part of the reason is my good friend Randy Tigan and he rode with me this evening, and we talked about it on the way down. I respect all the teams. Some nights, some better than others. But I do. I enjoy all my teams. I try to get along with them. It's impossible to make everybody like you, but it's racing. And I've had people that have been upset. The next week they come back and buy you a beer and give you a hug. I mean, I'm so thankful for our community of truck racers. That is probably part of it, but our tech program, I stand behind that 500%. Like, do you want to go to a racetrack where well, this guy is cheating, so I'm not going to be able to beat him? No. Everybody is on the same playing field. My tech guys, Buck and Phil, I mean, they cover it. They're going to, if you're messing around, they're going to find it. And, sometimes we have found things on people that have been a little bit closer to me, and it's like, sorry, Bob, tonight ain't your night. You're going into the penalty box. There's been people we pulled engines out on. I'm not going to name no names, but we had another guy that had, some other problems. Sometimes they're actually innocent, but it doesn't matter what your story is. You're going to get busted and, get last place or whatever. And when people hear that, they know that my guys are doing the best job possible, But it's exciting. I mean, I really think that's part of it. And pay-wise, we're on a one-tire rule. Our engine program is relatively inexpensive. We don't let them buy the $1 million parts. We got a long rule book on it, on what you can do, what you can't do. And once in a while, you'll have these teams get a little grumpy at you, like, well, gosh, I got that part laying in my shop. Why can't I use it? Well, if it's such a good part, sell it off your super late or something and buy the legal part, because we can't worry. My theory is I'd rather make 30 guys happy than one guy, and I don't mean to be rude or nothing like that, but, that's why we got, what did this year, I think we've had like 40-some different drivers this year. They'll come in, they'll rent a truck, they'll drive their buddy's truck or something like that. And
just buy their truck outright and go racing as much as they can.
Yes, and all of them, it seems like after they drive somebody else's truck, they're online, hey, do you know where any used trucks? Where can I get a new truck? And yes, I'm going to brag about Pathfinder chassis. They're behind the truck series 100%. They do extremely well with the supers and the late models and stuff, but since they've been in business, they've always been behind the truck, so I'm really proud of them for that.
For sure. Aaron Moore is joining us. John Wood is just speaking about Midwest Truck Series. Aaron's a driver, that number 140 sitting out here. You're coming off a 6th place finish at Jefferson. You also raced across the street at the Milwaukee Mile.
Yep.
2 pretty different racetracks.
Very different.
What are the highlights for you in those 2 events specifically this year?
It's kind of funny because I've run both racetracks, just not the big racetrack across the street. So it was really cool to get back to the mile. That's actually where I started out racing Bandoleros. And
on the inside road course, there's a little kidney bean shape track they cut out for you.
Yeah, they call it the Roval.
Yeah.
Yep. That right-hander throws a wrench into things. but I tell you what, we had a lot of fun out there. As far as setup and stuff like that, I've been bouncing a lot of stuff off of Pathfinder, and it's nice to be able to bounce things off of that you can, they're not going to lie to you. And at least starting out, they can point you in the right direction. And me and the guys, we can kind of figure out what works, what doesn't work. But it was pretty cool racing at the mile this year. That was fun.
And the support group goes beyond that. I'm sure if you have an unusual part and you don't have it in your hauler, you have to go next door, and somebody's going to say, "Yep, what do you need?"
For sure. And I kind of get the same feeling with the truck series as I did with the Legend Car series, where if you do need some help, everyone's pretty cool in the pits. We haven't really had too many issues like looking for parts or anything like that. But it is a good group of people.
When it comes to racing, you got 2 big races left. Aaron, what are you thinking here? You've got La Crosse Oktoberfest, and you got the Dells Raceway Park. To get these points matched up, what do you think is going to shake out there? Who are you going to be worried about at either one of those races coming up on the Midwest Truck Series schedule?
Kregerich has been really good the last couple of weeks. Zielinski, he's really good on the bigger tracks, it seems. So I think both those guys are going to be prepared. We're going to have plenty of shop time here. I had to relax last weekend and get a little deer hunting in. But
that's kind of cool because the schedule's not every week either.
Yes, yeah.
Right?
Yeah, that's nice. But we got some shop time coming up this weekend. We'll get her dialed in and go to the racetrack with nothing too out of the ordinary, but I'm kind of thinking we'll run something similar to Marshfield, something what we had out there. So, I think the biggest thing is qualify good, run good in your heat, grab a couple points here and there. Every couple of points matter right now. So,
Aaron, who's on that truck supporting your efforts this year going after that Clutch Energy Drink Rookie of the Year?
I really have to thank Wolfpack Apparel. Ed's been great. I actually bought the truck from them. HBI Incorporated, they've helped us out a ton this year. Sipples Auto. Able Distributing right here out of West Allis, right around the corner. Wisconsin Insulators, Bob's Pizza. Let's see here. John's got notes here. I should have brought notes.
How about crew help while you're thinking through that list?
Billy, Nick, my wife Ashley, Tony, Scotty. These guys, they're working just as much as I am, and they still find time to come out to the racetrack and put aside their own hobbies. And I can't thank those guys enough. I wouldn't be able to go to the racetrack every week without all their help, especially my wife. And if you guys are ever looking for us, you can find us. We got all the dogs in the trailer. So.
Do they make a lot of noise? Because sometimes you hear them before you see them.
Yep.
Okay.
But I really got to thank all those people. Both my parents, they've helped out a ton. Grandma Mary. Thirsty Bear up in Gleason area. It's been a blast this year.
Cool. Thanks for bringing the sweatshirts too. I felt one. It feels like it's ready for winter.
Yeah. There's some nice sweatshirts from Able Distributing. If you're looking for any kitchen, bath, or home remodeling fixtures, go check them out. Like I said, they're right around the corner. Yeah.
Cool. John, you've got a lot of people involved with what you got going on for the series, don't you?
Oh, my gosh. And I've never been the guy that says me. It's always we. And I got my tech guys that I talked about earlier. I didn't say Barry's name, but Barry works at La Crosse in tech, and he goes to all of our races also. And Drew and Beth, Drew is competition director, and Beth, helps with all the media. It's his fiance, and and I got other people too. I got Alex, the flagman, and I know I'm forgetting somebody because I don't have all my notes with me. But Jim, if you don't mind me saying a couple things yet.
Yeah.
I remember we had Bryce Miller on here one night.
We did. Yeah, a couple times.
It was before Kakana.
Yep.
And I told Bryce, I go on air, Bryce, first time I went to Kakana, I won. And he goes, oh my gosh, I got a lot of weight on me right now. And what did he do? He went up there and won. Well, first time I went to lacrosse with the truck, I won. So we're going to put a little pressure on Aaron on that one.
I love it.
But on a serious note, a few of your first lines of the show tonight was about B.J. Dalkey and his daughter.
Yeah.
I personally appreciate that. They're close friends, wonderful people. I hope the tears don't start flowing, but let's pray for the rest of the family and the GoFundMe. And, when you're young like that, as BJ was, and obviously Addison's 11 years old, they maybe didn't think about life insurance and funerals and all that stuff. And that's the reason Todd Cleaver started the GoFundMe. It's a nightmare. I'd like to wake up and, forget it was over, but it's not. It's unfortunate. Our neighborhood is extremely sad about it, along with the midget community and, the other racing communities such as ours. So thank you for bringing that up, and I appreciate it. And, Godspeed to them too.
Amen to that, and thanks for bringing that up again, because it's a wide reach, and I'm watching and following as I heard this tragic news, and there's a lot of people that are chiming in saying, man, what a great guy. He helped a bunch of people. He did my race car lettering. I mean, just our thoughts are with you and everybody who was affected by their passing.
Thank you very much, sir.
We want to say thanks to our guests on this program. Let's do it together with a round of applause. Greg Koltek from Interstate Batteries, Aaron Moyer driving that Midwest truck number 140, and Johnny Wood. Thank you guys for coming down and supporting our show all year long. Thanks a bunch. We appreciate it.
When's Brad Miller going to get here?
I don't know. He's on the list of guests to be on the show. I've got to figure out if we need to rearrange that, because, Brad Miller does have Brad Miller time.
Well, he always complains that I never drink beer with him. So I'll have one
He's here?
with him.
Okay, we have indications there's a sighting of Brad Miller in the house. We're coming back. We have a great time every Tuesday. This is our final time to spend with you on a Tuesday night. Come on down and join the racing crowd at Polly's Pub and Eatery. We'll be right back.
Join the racing crowd every Tuesday night at 6 p.m. Central all season long. Share what you love about short track racing on our Facebook page and on Twitter and Instagram at Racing Roundup. We'll be right back with more of the Racing Roundup Show.
Danny Lynch's at the corner of Highway 100 and Lincoln is a great place to watch NASCAR races, Packer games, Brewer games, and to meet up with your friends. Joey and Jim Lynch pride themselves on their friendly hospitality and welcome Racing Roundup listeners to stop in to watch all the races on their 14 TVs and flat screens. Danny Lynch's at the corner of Highway 100 and Lincoln has been a longtime supporter of racers, including National Road Racing Motorcycle Champion Dan Belansky. Relax around the big neighborhood bar with 2 pool tables and dartboards surrounded by TVs. Whether you're meeting up before the game, want to watch the races with race fans, or just want to grab a cold one, head to Danny Lynch's at the corner of Highway 100 and Lincoln in West Dallas.
Need a pack and move? Well, we do a lot of them. And we have all the proper materials to pack your belongings safe and sound so they arrive in the same condition as they went out in. Packing boxes, bubble wrap, mirror packs, lamp boxes, dish packs. We get the job done right. Packed and labeled properly so it all ends up in the right spot in your new place. This is Rick Vanderboom. Blue Mountain Express Moving and Storage will improve your move. BlueMountainExpress.com. We will improve your move. Statewide.
Olson's Outdoor Power Equipment is a fully equipped parts, sales, and service dealer of quality mowers, snow throws, trimmers, chainsaws, and more. Olson services what they sell, does warranty service work on big box store mowers, and their expert service technicians are ready to get your equipment running right. Put their stock parts department and friendly, knowledgeable staff to work for you. Visit the racers at Olson's Outdoor Power Equipment today at 14323 West College Avenue, just 1 mile east of Moreland Road in Muskego. Olson'sPower.com. Olson's Power Equipment.
Saturday, October 22nd at Dell's Raceway Park is the following 150. Race number 5 in the Alignment 5 Series. Super late model drivers from throughout the Midwest duke it out for 150 grueling laps, plus the UMA Outlaw late models and the Midwest Truck Series. Gates open at 10:30, qualifying at 12:30, green flag racing at 2. Get your tickets online at DellsRacewayPark.com and save. Dell's Raceway Park, located 2 miles west of I-90-94 and exit 85, just off Highway 12. Don't miss this last race of the season, Saturday, October 22nd at Dell's Raceway Park.
427-1000 American Foundation. Cracks and leaks in your basement, have no fears. We've been fixing those things for over 60 years. trust and dedication. That's American Foundation.
Call American right now for huge savings.
427-1000. American Foundation.
When we decided to get our crack-leaky basement done, I am so glad we called American Foundation. It gave us a sense of confidence, and it gave us our basement back.
And it was the right choice.
Thank you very much.
American Foundation Specialist has been fixing basements since 1947. Satisfied customers are the future at American. Call American for huge savings at
427-1000. American Foundation.
We're back on the Racing Roundup Show, our final show of 2022. 38 years into this now. Looking forward to seeing you. We're going to smile now for the pictures you see on Facebook all the time. We already took it. My mouth, I think, was open to so were my eyes. Maybe. My eyes have been closed. I'm not sure. We have a bunch of people to thank as we go through our program this evening. Central Services Company, the leader in landscaping, snow removal, and lawn care. Road America, who announced their IndyCar date is June 18th weekend, June 15, 16, 17, 18. 4-day tickets on sale right now at roadamerica.com. for $123. You get all 4 days for $123, but that is going quickly. So get on the website, roadamerica.com, renew your season tickets, or now you know when the IndyCar date is. You can buy those 4-day IndyCar tickets right now at roadamerica.com for $123. That's a bunch cheaper than what they'll charge you at the gate on race weekend. Bonafide Security Solutions, thank you, Mike Egan. Anderson's Pure Maple Syrup Racing, thank you, Steve Anderson, again this year for providing great samples for our folks to enjoy, as well as supporting our program. Steve Sinclair and the IRA Outlaw Sprints, sponsoring our show, getting involved with more racers, getting on the program, getting more exposure. Thanks to the family at Olson's Outdoor Power Equipment in Muskego. CK Contractors, LLC, thank you, Chris Klemko, for supporting us all season long, as well as Wilmot Raceway on the Kenosha County Fairgrounds. Blue Mountain Express Moving and Storage, a new sponsor this year. Thank you, Rick Vanderboom, and Fast Jack Racing as well. This portion of the show is brought to you by Allied Resource Recovery. Turn your recyclable metals into cash today with Allied Resource Recovery. There are 3 locations: ARR West Dallas at 80th and Burnham, ARR Waukesha Recycling at 1001 Tesh Court, and you can cash in at National Salvage on South 44th Street across from where the Milwaukee Brewers are playing right now. Visit AlliedResourceRecovery.com. We have a lot of giveaways tonight. I mentioned the tickets to the Oktoberfest race weekend. They're all 4 days, a set of 2. We're giving those away tonight. Pardon me, Dean. I'm going to move my hand and show people that right here in my hand, all of them. Thank you to Oktoberfest for providing those. We have bottles of Anderson maple syrup. We have Matt's blend of gourmet seasoning. Matt Rapina, Coldwell Banker Wholesale Real Estate, has his own blend of seasoning. Got a couple of those jars to give away tonight. Thank you, Greg Koltek from Interstate Batteries. We have a metal shop sign, battery-powered race cars, a Kyle Busch replica helmet, this one. We're giving that away tonight. 2 copies of Joe Gibbs' book, Game Plan for Life, and more, including some flashlight keychains. Thank you, Interstate Batteries of Southeast Wisconsin. Aaron Moyer brought us a couple of hooded sweatshirts we talked about already. We also want to thank, still in the wrappers till tonight, 1992 a.k.a. Alan Quickie Championship T-shirt right over there, hanging under the TV. That came out of the wrapper today. Thank you, Marilyn Shaw. She said, well, I got to do something special for your last show. She also brought us some Matt Kent said 2003 championship hat. Yeah, you had to buy it in 2003. They sold out of them. She brought that to give away tonight as part of our stash. Thank you, Marilyn. ATD's brought some shirts. Thank you, Charlie. He'll be on the show in a few minutes. For Making Memories Travel, Mark was here taking the shuttle from Paulie's to the Brewer game. He said, hey, I love what you guys do. I'm sponsoring that show again next year. He's part of the Bickle Bon Voyage. He has provided us certificates, gift certificates to Making Memories Travel. We have a $250 gift certificate as well as a handful of $50 travel certificates. Those are gift certificates toward purchase of a Making Memories travel package at Making Memories Travel here in Milwaukee area. We also have trucker hats from D&H Sales and Service, Sheboygan Power Center for Toro and Wright brands. And we've got a lot to cover on this here show. I have 8x10 NASCAR driver autographed photos from Greenfield Gallery Sales on Facebook. We've got Rowdy Energy Drink from Gabe Summers Racing. We remind you to buy your Rowdy Energy at Quick Trip. And we've got more to tell you because Dean Strom's here. I'm done talking for at least a minute or so. And we've got short track racing to talk about. Dean, welcome back to our final show of 2022.
Jim, good to have you. Thank you, I should say, for having me back. It's the Bonafide Security Solutions short track report.
One person applauded for you, Dean. Congratulations. You paid them off already when you knocked in. No, we got 3, 5, 6, 7.
All right.
Okay.
For camera and alarm systems for your home or business, program card access, gun safes, it's a lock. Support the racers at Team Bonafide by calling 262-790-9400 or go online, bonafidesafe.com. Bonafide protects what you value. Bumper-to-bumper IRA Outlaw Sprints wrapped up their season this past Friday night and Saturday nights, along with the Wisconsin Wingless Sprints and the MSA 360 Sprinters. Pennsylvania's Dylan Cisney, a regular at Port Royal Speedway, snatched the winner's purse Friday night at Dodge County Fairgrounds. Jake Newman capped off his rookie season by winning his first IRA Outlaw Sprints feature on Saturday night at the Plymouth Dirt Track. Schlafer Auto Bodies, Danny Schlafer finished 4th and 3rd to lock up 2nd in the final point standings. After the final 2 nights of racing for the Wisconsin Wingless Sprints, it was a points tie for the championship.
Crazy?
That is crazy, yes. Between veteran Tim Cox and teenager Clayton Rossman. We had them on the show a couple weeks ago. Congrats to both of them.
They share the same shop.
Yeah, we learned that Tim's car is housed at Clayton's shop.
Yeah, and
Crazy.
they tie for the championship. So no, they don't even have to split the trophy down the middle. Just put it on one shelf right in the middle.
And Mark Heinert, guest on the show when we were at Danny Lynch's on September 13th. He won the IRA Lightning Sprint season finale at Plymouth. Ended up 2nd in the final point standings to teammate Mike New. Travis Aarons and Ben Schmidt each won 360 features. MSA 360 features finished 1-2 in the series points. And last week's show guest, Lance Fosbender, finished 5th and 6th in the 2A mains. Dells Raceway Park hosted their championship night. For their weekly divisions this past Friday night, Mike Litchfield set fast time and won the UMA Pro Late Model Feature and the Track Championship. Dave Edmonds of Salem won the Asphalt Modified Feature. Bill Tandetsky finished 3rd. Matthew Pate won the Modified title. Dave Trout conquered the Sportsman Feature. Oak Creek Automotive sponsored James Swan started 3rd. Was out early in that yellow Alan Kowicki number 97 Sportsman. He was just shaking it down for that New Year's bash in South Carolina at Dillon Motor Speedway.
10-4.
That he'll be going to, yeah. Congrats to Steve Rosick for his Bandits feature win, and Sparta's Mike Kruger for picking up the hobby stock victory. Much of Saturday's Midwest Showdown at the Dells was affected by rain. Mound, Minnesota's Paul Payne won the CRA feature. Jason Stark, Tom Carlson, they were winners in the 602 Outlaw Late Model features on Sunday. Jacob Teagan out of Iowa won the Legends feature. Friend of the show, Jake Trado, finished 4th.
That's my nephew, my brother John's boy from North Carolina, now lives in Minnesota. Raced the Legends car at Slinger a couple weeks ago. Won that one.
Yep.
Congrats on the top 5, nephew.
Much more to come from the DRP, from Dells Raceway Park, their program, Bill Holland in the Groove. That'll be later on. Left on the Dells Raceway Park calendar for 2022, this Saturday is the 300-lap Impact Compact Enduro Series. And then Saturday, October 22nd, a Live for 5 Series Championship. It's the following 150 double feature event, Super Late Models, 602 Outlaw Late Models, season finale for the Midwest Truck Series as well. You can make your plans, buy your tickets now, DellsRacewayPark.com. Eldora Speedway 4 Crown Nationals took place in Ohio. Chris Wyndham won in Chad Boat's Midget for the 2nd straight year. Justin Grant in Sprint Cars, his 50th USAC National Feature victory. Logan Seavey went back-to-back in the Silver Crown 50-lapper, and Sunshine Tyler Courtney won the All-Stars Wing Sprint Car race, which all but assures his 2nd straight series championship with 2 races remaining. This weekend, Rockford Speedway 57th National Short Track Championship over 3 days, and the first without matriarch Jody Deary. Today, the City Council of Love Park, Illinois, unveiled street signs on a portion of Forest Hills Road to now forever be named the honorary Jody Deary Way.
That's cool.
That was really darn cool. Really cool. Got a lot of the Deary family together out there in front of City Hall, and son Jack Deary on Facebook said, like only Jack could say, it only took 6 minutes and the first sign has already been stolen. So that's my friend Jack. He beats to a different drummer, but that's okay.
Did he steal the sign, or what are the other Dearys? We don't know.
And Jim, I meant to, speaking of the Rockford Speedway, I meant to include this in last week's Short Track Report. Did you happen to see on social media, they upgraded the lighting at Rockford Speedway. All new track lighting, all new LED lighting. Holy mackerel, does that make a difference?
Wow.
And quite an investment into the Rockford Speedway.
75th year, doing it right.
Yep. Peyton Sellers won the Valley Star Credit Union 300 at Martinsville, the Virginia driver's first win in the marquee event in his 15th try. Carson Quapple finished 2nd in his junior motorsports ride. Ty Majeski qualified for the event, but dropped out early. 93 cars qualified in one division, 93 asphalt late models.
And I love, you don't have to look it up because I'm going to tell you, Carson Quapple finishes 2nd. Yeah, he's in junior motorsports car, whatever. He said, I got to Peyton Sellers. I was not going to hit him to get the lead. I wanted to pass him clean, and I just didn't have the car to do it. That's the interview he gave right after he turned around from shaking Peyton's hand in victory lane. I'd say that's total class.
Yep, class act indeed. And 20-year-old Lane Riggs was named NASCAR Weekly Series National Champion, the youngest champion in the history of the NASCAR Weekly Series.
That's Scott Riggs' son. I saw him his debut in the truck at IRP. He looked really good. Lane Riggs has something going on with those late model stocks. Hopefully he gets some more shots in the truck series. Right now we're talking to a young driver who ran and won across the street. Became the youngest ever driver to win a race ever at the Milwaukee Mile in 2019 in the Midwest Truck Series. He now comes to us in his second season in the Midwest Tour. The ARCA Midwest Tour races at Oktoberfest. We thought we'd drag him over from his school right down the road. Let's welcome in from Merrill, Wisconsin, Levon Vandergeest. Levon, how you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Thanks for coming on with us. Did you have anything to eat yet? We thought we'd buy you dinner because you know your punch card only works in the cafeteria.
Yeah, I just ordered actually. I see it sitting at the table.
We better not keep him.
We told you to be a little earlier than you are now, so you would probably have had that done. But it's great to see you here. Great to have you on the show. I know you're talking to Aaron Moyer here a few minutes before the program. It's got to be fun knowing you are where you want to be right now in this deal.
As far as ARCA?
Yeah,
we're in a pretty good position for our second year, especially with how many issues we've had this year. We've had a really rough season as far as our luck, a lot of mechanical failures and stuff, but the races that we have been able to finish, we've done really well, and we're showing a lot of speed. That makes me very excited for the upcoming 2 races at La Crosse, and then after that, the following at Dells.
You had fast time at Grundy County Speedway, your first fast time in the ARCA Midwest Tour. Had a top 5 at a big race at Dixieland, the Dixieland 250 at
Hope
Wisconsin
you sold a lot of shirts,
International
man.
Raceway.
I was impressed. That was a nice run.
That was a
Thank
great
you.
run. So the speed has been there, right?
Yeah, the speed has definitely been there. At Grundy, I got my first fast time this year in ARCA. That was a really big deal. We've been qualifying into every race. Last year we had a problem, just trying to qualify in with it being my first year. This year we haven't had a problem with that. We've been very fast just about every race. And then in the races we're showing a lot of speed too. Like you said, the Dixieland, a top 5. And I think that speed is going to really show off next year. I think next year is going to be our big year for super late model racing.
You keep saying we and our. You were born into this. Your dad's a racer. You ran a bunch of late model stuff. You got the Weinkauf brothers helping you, but you made a big jump. Let's go revisit that. A couple of winters ago when you said, okay, I'm done racing Midwest trucks. I'm going super late model racing. And not just anywhere. You're going Midwest Tour super racing.
Yeah, that was a really big jump. Actually, my first race in a super late model was the Futures race at La Crosse, and I got 5th in that race, so that was a really good run. And then I went and raced Plover twice. I set 2 fast times in a row, and then won my second race at Plover. And then I went into ARCA, and that was a big awakening for me. Like, the competition was insane in ARCA, and it still is. It's racing against the best guys in the country as far as short track racing, and there's no better way to grow as a driver.
You probably don't know this, but at Madison 2 years ago, your first ARCA Midwest Tour race, I talked to your crew chief, Chris Weinkauf, and I said, what's the plan for this season? Going to run all season? He says, we're going to run the first couple races and kind of see how it goes. Well, you haven't missed a race since, so I guess it's going all right.
Yeah, as a team, we've been making huge strides towards being one of the top runners in ARCA. We've gained so much speed since last year, and like I said, I think next year is going to be a big year for us. Hopefully, more fast times. Hopefully, a couple wins. My team and I never stop working, and I think that's our biggest strength.
What do you say you've contributed the most? Not just learning, but what have you contributed to say, I now know what I want to feel in the car. I want to tell you this is what I need. Or, hey, remember what that setup we had when we shook the car down? I'd like this setup for La Crosse if we can keep it right like this. I mean, those kind of things tabulate and add up. But what do you feel are your strengths that you brought to this to make your car and team faster each week?
Yeah, I'd say exactly what you said. I've made a lot of progress with that in the last couple of years. I'm starting to work with the crew a lot more and understand a lot of the changes that they're making, so I can kind of start making some of the calls on my own and kind of know what I want in the car. I know if it's tight, if it's like a front end tight or a rear end tight. That's been helping us out a lot. Chris is obviously an amazing crew chief. He can set up a car if he knows what it's doing. So me being able to get that across to him better has been helping us out a ton.
Let's talk about Oktoberfest for a minute. October 6, 7, 8, and 9, as Jim said. We have some tickets here for you that we're going to give away at the end of the show. But 4 days at La Crosse Fairgrounds Speedway, big racing weekend. Super late models are on tap all 4 of those days. And you were telling me before the show, you plan to run all 4 of those days, don't you?
That's the plan. Yeah, I'm gonna run the Futures race on Thursday. I've had good runs in that race, so I'm excited for that one. Then I'm gonna run the Trickle 99, which I've never ran before, so that should be a lot of fun. I ran a race similar to that last year, the fall shootout at Marshfield with.
Dean and I could give you another way to run that race because I'm sure you've got 17 different people telling you how to figure out how to win the Trickle 99, 3 33-lap races.
Yeah,
we got some opinions. We'll tell you after.
It's definitely an elusive race, and I'm excited to give it my best shot. The 200 lapper. Last year, I qualified third for that. It got ended short due to just wrong place, wrong time. But I'm very excited for that one this year too.
The speed, though, let's revisit that. I'm stopping you right now because I was at my first Oktoberfest last year. The speed of what you and the other guys, Fredrickson, everybody else, I'm like, how do you go that fast for that long? I mean, that's really something special. That race specifically. If you to qualify as well as you did and run as well as you did, you guys were clicking last year.
Yeah, the times were really fast last year. And the pace of the race is also insane there. For it being a 200-lap race, you would think you want to kind of pace yourself out and save tires, but it almost becomes just pushing the car almost as hard as qualifying every lap, to stay up with that lead pack and make sure you don't go a lap down. As
a young driver, how do you manage that? Because we saw Ty Majeski last year at the Oktoberfest 200, which you can visit on MidwestTour.tv anytime you care to watch it. He stayed out thinking I need to keep my tires for later, and he got lapped because his tires just went south in a big way whenever others came in. How can you as a driver, even at your young development here, help your team, help those tires wear better longer?
The biggest thing about tires is having a good setup. That's the biggest thing from the start. If you don't have a good setup, it's not only going to slow you down, but you're going to have to drive twice as hard to stay with the guys that do have their car set up right, and they're gonna save a lot more tires than you do, even driving faster than you are. So that's going to be the biggest thing, is just getting the car set up correctly for the race. So it could be won in practice, as you could say.
For those of you that don't know, Levon didn't drive down here from Merrill, Wisconsin, from central Wisconsin. He drove down here from East Downer, or North Downer. Downer and Kenilworth, is it? Or?
University of Wisconsin, Milwaukee.
Yes. So you're a freshman at the University of Wisconsin, Milwaukee. First of all, what you studying, and how's the first few weeks going?
I'm studying mechanical engineering. In the first few weeks have actually gone better than expected. I'm taking chemistry. It's a required class for engineering. And chemistry was something I was not very good at in high school. But so far I've been getting the hang of it. I'm sure it'll get harder, but it's been good so far.
What do you plan to do with that degree?
I'll see where it takes me. I do. The idea of going into mechanical engineering had to do with racing. So I guess we'll just see where it goes.
Yeah, is Jim's picture and my picture on the wall anywhere over there? And because we're alum of the University of Wisconsin Milwaukee.
Yep. I think they cashed all my checks, so we're good there.
I knew where the engineering building was.
Yeah. I walked by it. But there's a nice new lobby there now. Do you ever miss a class because you're looking at all the Alan Kowicki stuff? Alan Kowicki's family gave money to UW Milwaukee, where he graduated with a mechanical engineering degree. I've not seen the new dedication, but have you walked in the lobby and said, that's Alan's notebook. I need to get in there to see what's in that notebook because it's on display in that lobby.
Yeah, I've been around it a couple of times. That was one of the reasons that I chose UW Milwaukee, because of Alan Kowicki. He's definitely been an inspiration for me as a driver.
Wow, that's pretty impressive. When it comes to going to school, though, there's a lot of changes. Mom and dad aren't there. You got to do your own laundry. You got to make your own meals. You got to make your own time management. When it comes to racing, how do you get to and from the track? Are you going up there? Are they picking you up on the way? How's that working out?
It's been kind of different each time. This last time, my race at Grundy a couple weeks ago, the Bentenhausen, I drove to Madison and they picked me up from there, and I left my car in a hotel parking lot over the weekend. So it's just kind of, we've been just working it out whichever way it works. Sometimes I drive up to home, sometimes I just get picked up.
And Levon told me he's going to miss a couple of classes to go to Oktoberfest. You'll have some downtime there. Take your books with, bring your backpack. I'm going to check in with you. I want to see it.
All right, I'll make sure I stay studying.
All right. Well, I think you should. You should actually think about not doing a thing other than focused on racing and campfires for a couple days. The teachers will allow that, right? Your teachers in grade school and high school had to do that because you've been racing a long time already.
Yeah, Oktoberfest, it's always been funny. Obviously, I'm always in school, whether it's high school, over Oktoberfest. And one thing that I've always had a problem with was keeping up with school over Oktoberfest. I usually just focus on the racing anyway, so I'll probably just be catching up when I get back.
Levon, who are the folks and the sponsors that are putting your program together to race in the Oktoberfest 200 and at Halloween, as you mentioned, in October 22nd at the Dells.
Yeah, as far as sponsors, we have Breber Music, Friendship House, Custom Meats and Marathon, Rib Mountain Tap House, Norman Electric, Zellish Asphalt, Paving and Maintenance, Chow Restaurant, Advanced Auto Parts, CarQuest, Culver's, Vandergeest Cattle, Kelly Davenport, Thierry Race Engines, and King's Campers. And then as far as people, I have to thank my mom and dad. My dad is the one that funds the race team and makes this all happen. And then my amazing crew, Chris Weinkoff is the crew chief, Jason Weinkoff, he does tires for us. Jake Broch is also a crew chief, Sparbs, Jacob, Ben DeBrew, Sam Welch, Junior Katsky, Sam Holzinger, and Jordan Brzezinski.
That's a lot of people.
Yeah, we're very blessed to have a big team.
I'm looking forward to how things shake out on Sunday, October 9th. That's the final day of Oktoberfest, a 200-lap race that you'll be competing in, and you said you have one more race after that, but in reality, that progress is there. I can tell by your comfortability and confidence, it's coming. You're finding that speed, and hopefully you catch that fire again at Oktoberfest.
I really hope so. Lacrosse has been a good track for me in the past. I think it could be a really good race. As long as we keep up with pace with how we've been doing this year, and as long as the car runs for the whole race, I think we should be good.
That's awesome. I want to thank for Levon Vandergeest for joining us here today on the Racing Roundup Show. Thank you, Levon. Now you can get your dinner. It's still there.
He's got to sign the backdrop first.
Aaron didn't steal all the fries off it yet.
Sign the backdrop.
He can do it after he eats. It's okay. The band will be here for a while. Who's not going to be here for a while, he's actually in the middle of 2 flights, is a driver we've had on the show literally every year for the last, 15, 16, 17 years of our show. He's in an airport right now. We don't know where he's going because his nickname is Monster Jam Cam. He's also a NASCAR Truck Series racer. Let's welcome in Camden Murphy to the show via video. Hey, Camden, how are you?
What's going on, Jim? I am excited to be here. I almost missed it, but we're here.
I see your nose and your teeth. Great smile. Can you move that camera up a little bit so we can see you?
Yeah, there we go.
Hey, there are your blue eyes. Now we got you.
Is that better?
Great.
All right. On my side, I can...
The golf applause. Did you hear the golf applause? Yeah.
So
you look great. Where are you headed to?
Well, right now I'm actually headed to Melbourne, Australia.
Australia.
I think I'm on my third... my third or fourth leg right now. Headed to San Francisco on my next flight. I head to Australia, do a little bit of monster jamming out there.
Man,
across the pond.
We feel so special that you're joining us for these few minutes, and I'm glad you are. You're a busy guy. You're making it work. You're making it happen. Tell us more about the tour you have internationally as a monster truck pilot. I wouldn't call it a driver, pilot, because you guys fly.
Yeah, so this year has been nonstop. I mean, not just Monster Jam, but everything that I'm doing. But yeah, no, I had a really great tour earlier this year. We had a lot of fun. Just missed out on the championship, but had a great time. But usually the summer times for us here in the U.S. is our busy time internationally with Monster Jam. So honestly, this is my only international tour that I'm doing this year, just doing the Australian tour. But it's going to be a lot of fun, a lot of great drivers. It's going to be a good time.
How many weeks and how many races will you compete in as you're headed there now?
Yeah, so actually, this is the shortest time we've ever gone to Australia. So I'm only going to be there for about 2.5 weeks or so. I have 2 events in Melbourne this weekend and then Sydney the weekend after that. So kind of a quick trip, but always on the go. I was literally in San Diego, all runs together, like 2 days ago. So always on the go.
Okay, I've seen you do that whole tick the Bugacon Dragonoid on its rears and set it upright and let it stand there and eat for a little bit. What have you been working on to make that even bigger, better? Because that freestyle stuff, you're getting pretty good at that.
Yeah, honestly, probably one of the biggest things that I've really focused on this year was a backflip into a moonwalk. So a backflip itself is tricky, and a moonwalk in itself is tricky. So trying to throw the two together is even kind of a wilder combination. So I've actually been pretty successful with it this year. It's really, really risky, though. Sometimes you can absolutely fail on it and fall on your face, but that's kind of part of it. But honestly, I'm always trying to go out there, learn new things, and try new things. But, at this moment here with Monster Jam, we're like, man, where else can we go with this? How much farther can the evolution go? But truthfully, we ask ourselves that every single time we do something wild and crazy. So something's coming. I don't know what it is, but something on accident's going to happen, and I'm hoping that's going to be with me. So you never know what the next trick is going to be. It's going to be wild and crazy.
Monster Jam trucks, that's the theme tonight. John Wood is here from the Midwest Truck Series. I know you guys got to race the Three Amigos, race the Midwest Truck Series back in the day. So John says hello. It's kind of neat to know that you come quite a ways from those days, but you're still racing trucks. You got to race the NASCAR Camping World. Now it's going to be Camping World next year. It's going to be something else next year. NASCAR Truck Series you got to crack this year at Nashville. That's kind of cool. You get to keep doing that too.
Yeah. So it's really cool. I just tuned in a little bit ago. It's awesome to see John. Glad to see. It's actually really, really awesome to see where the series has come. I've been keeping up with it, and it's great to see the truck count that they've had. So that was such a great series. John did an amazing job, and everybody there to put that series on. So glad to see they're doing great. But this year has kind of been a bit of a take a step back for me. It's, obviously as for everybody, pandemic hit everybody pretty hard, but, from the finding partners and sponsors to go and racing is got to continue to do that. But, I'm still working in the shop with Joe Nemechek every single day, going to the racetrack. They're at VIR right now, actually, with the TA car. I think I go to Road
Atlanta.
The one NASCAR race I have run this year, it's obviously didn't go the way we wanted to, but I definitely had some great partners like Rowdy Energy and Kyle Busch and Doll Tile, Sim Gear Simulators, some really great partners that made that whole weekend possible. So, again, it didn't end up the way we wanted it to, but it's part of racing. It is a little disappointing, the fact that, it's the only race I've run this year, and it didn't go good, but everybody knows it. It's part of motorsports. You just gotta get back on your feet and keep on digging.
Spending a few more minutes with Camden Murphy in between flights to Australia to race in Monster Jam. I also want to tell you that I've had people ask me to this day, when are you getting Joe Nemechek back on the show? And I said, well, you got to thank Camden Show last year, which continues the streak now that you're on tonight. But I also want to tell you, I had a lot of fun. So July 16, 17, there was a Road America race weekend, a vintage race weekend. And I see this black number 8 car in the vintage stock car class, the vintage cup car class. I'm like, man, that number 8 looks familiar. That little skull and crossbones on the quarter panel looks familiar. So my son Sam pointed it out first. He's like, I think that might be Front Row Joe. So we went hunting for you guys. And wouldn't you know, Joe's in the truck doing his thing. And I see you first. And I say, Monster Jam Cam! And Joe says, figures you'd be recognized before I would back here. You guys are way up in the weeds. But it's a lot of fun, man. You go have a ball with him at the racetrack.
Yeah, honestly, Mr. Nemechek is one of the most down-to-earth people you'll ever meet and ever talk to. So it's definitely an honor to work in the shop with him every single day. And he gets in there too. He's an incredibly smart man. Honestly, I mean, you can dream it, he can build it and make it and machine it and do anything you can think of. So, and he's one heck of a wheelman. I mean, it's really, really cool to be able to travel around working with him, and he's a great time. I've laughed so hard this year traveling with him. And driving the dually with the big trailer, he's driving the semi. I mean, he does it all. So it's definitely been a lot of fun. And he's been he's definitely been very gracious to help me out in my career with NASCAR and the Truck Series and running some road racing stuff too in our TA2 car, late model stock cars, doing some testing for us. So it's definitely been a fun journey, and I'm looking forward to the future as a whole.
Joe Nemechek is on the entry list for the Xfinity race at Talladega this weekend. So maybe that current thing, that whole, hey, who else can you look for? Hey, Joe, you can't make that race? I've got a guy. His name's Camden Murphy. He's in Australia for just a couple more days. Let's get him in something at Homestead or maybe Phoenix. That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Hey, Camden, thanks again for your time. We really appreciate it. It's really been a lot of fun having you on for a few minutes, and thank you for telling us. I need to keep the streak alive. So let's, year 16, 17? Let's keep it going.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me on, as always.
How about I say for Camden Murphy joining us here on the phone via the video link in San Diego, San Francisco, wherever he is on his way to Australia. Great to have folks like that we have been part of. They've been part of our show. We're thankful you're part of our show. Charlie McCormick from ATD Auto Trans Design is here. He's going to be on our program here in a few minutes. We got some more people to thank as well. We've got a show that we just enjoy it greatly to have you as part of our show as well. I want to thank Dells Raceway Park. Thank you, Jerry Hobby. ATD, Automatic Transmission Design. We'll talk to Charlie here in a minute or so what he and his son Michael are up to. American Foundation Specialists. Thank you, Jamie and Tony Zeider. Polly's Pub and Eatery. Greenfield Gallery Sales on Facebook. Thank you, Ralph, for all the cool prizes again this year. D&H Sales and Service in Sheboygan. SheboyganPowerCenter.com is your destination. Madison International Speedway, Angel Park Speedway, and the ARCA Midwest Tour. Team McCarnes, thank you for your support, as well as for the Oktoberfest raceweekend.com. That's where you want to find out how to get your tickets if you don't win them tonight. We also want to thank Track Enterprises and their promotional efforts for their 2 races at the Milwaukee Mile this year, and the Cellar in Oak Creek. The Cellar Pub and Grill in Oak Creek, what a great place. Thank you, Bobby Gutenecht and Oak Creek Automotive, for getting us connected there. Thank you, Bill and Shirley, for having D'Anza Construction Road Shows this year. More people to thank, more people to talk to on this edition of the Racing Roundup Show, our final show of 2022. Come on down and join the racing crowd at Polly's Pub and Eatery. We'll be right back.
Join the racing crowd every Tuesday night at 6 p.m. Central all season long. Contact us on our website, racingroundupshow.com. We'll be right back with more of the upper Midwest and Wisconsin racing scene, NASCAR, and the world of motorsports.
Greenfield Gallery wants to buy your racing collection. Do you have die-cast cars from IndyCar, Sprint Car, or short tracks? Greenfield Gallery wants them. If you have old racing programs, racing photos, and negatives, Greenfield Gallery wants those too. Contact Ralph Hibbert Jr. at Greenfield Gallery, who wants to buy your racing collection. Ralph also has an ever-changing eBay store full of racing collectibles. Search Greenfield Gallery. Email Ralph right now to get connected. His email address is ralph@greenfieldgallery.net.
Bobby Gutnick and the technicians at Oak Creek Automotive on South 27th Street in Drexel are experts in automotive repair. For over 30 years and counting, the Napa Certified Car Care Center at Oak Creek Automotive handles emissions testing plus minor to major repair, from oil changes to engine and transmission replacement. Call Oak Creek Automotive 414-761-3250. They're open for your convenience Monday through Thursday, 7 a.m. till 9 p.m. and Friday, 7 a.m. till 6 p.m. For all your vehicle repair needs, head to South 27th Street and Drexel to the pros at Oak Creek Automotive.
Danny Lynch's at the corner of Highway 100 and Lincoln is a great place to watch NASCAR races, Packer games, Brewer games, and to meet up with your friends. Joey and Jim Lynch pride themselves on their friendly hospitality and welcome Racing Roundup listeners to stop in to watch all the races on their 14 TVs and flat screens. Danny Lynch's at the corner of Highway 100 and Lincoln has been a longtime supporter of racers, including National Road Racing Motorcycle Champion Dan Belansky. Relax around the big neighborhood bar with 2 pool tables and dartboards surrounded by TVs. Whether you're meeting up before the game, want to watch the races with race fans, or just want to grab a cold one, head to Danny Lynch's at the corner of Highway 100 Lincoln and West Dallas.
Saturday, October 22nd at Dell's Raceway Park. It's the following 150. Race number 5 in the Alive for 5 series. Super late model drivers from throughout the Midwest duke it out for 150 grueling laps. Plus the UMA Outlaw late models and Midwest Truck Series. Gates open at 10:30, qualifying at 12:30, green flag racing at 2. Get your tickets online at DellsRacewayPark.com and save. Dell's Raceway Park, located 2 miles west of I-90-94 at exit 85, just off Highway 12. Don't miss this last race of the season, Saturday, October 22nd at Dell's Raceway Park.
D&H Sales and Service is Sheboygan County's largest steel and outdoor power equipment dealer. Since 2003, owner Brad Dahmer and D&H Sales and Service strives to offer you the best brands with leading manufacturers such as Aaron's, Gravely, Ferris, Simplicity, Snapper, Steel, Wright, and Toro. Each brand is backed by a stocked parts department and the highest level of customer service. All of our inventory is online at SheboyganPowerCenter.com, and when you buy from D&H, you will be shown how to safely operate your ready-to-use equipment. We have over 80 feet of steel display, and we have over 75 pieces of steel equipment in stock. D&H is Sheboygan County's only Briggs & Stratton Diamond dealer with a master service technician and factory-trained service department. D&H Sales and Service is conveniently located off of I-43 in Sheboygan and is an authorized service and warranty center for most brands on the market. We'll service almost any brand of small engine equipment. Call us for details at 920-458-1865. D&H Sales and Service also offers pickup and delivery to Sheboygan, Manitowoc, and Ozaukee counties. Search D&H Sales and Service on Facebook or log on to SheboyganPowerCenter.com today.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Racing Roundup Show. Glad to have you with us on the program. It's our final show of 2022. We've got a lot of folks to hang out with, and we want you to join us. Still have time to join the racing crowd. This portion of the show is brought to you by the Midwest Truck Series, with the last 2 races set for Oktoberfest weekend at La Crosse Fairgrounds Speedway on Saturday, October 8th, and their season finale at Dell's Raceway Park on Saturday, October 22nd. The Midwest Truck Series is supported by Widener Automotive and Pathfinder Chassis. Check out MidwestTruckSeries.com. This is time for the Anderson's Maple Syrup Short Track Spotlight. I don't know if I should tell you what just happened on the stage, but we'll give that away if you saw what just happened. Anderson's has been a proud sponsor and supporter of Wisconsin racers Dennis Prunty, Bill Bailog, and Jason Gross all year long. Try Anderson's Maple Syrup in your coffee or tea or on your ice cream. Take it with you with pure fuel maple energy on the go. Anderson's Pure Quality since 1928 is available online at andersonsmaplesyrup.com. In the spotlight tonight is a man who's behind the power of BMRE electric carts. Let's welcome in Brad Miller. Brad, welcome to the show.
Wow, this is quite a crowd you guys got here tonight.
They knew you were coming.
Man.
We got to come out in numbers when you come. You showed up.
I walk in the door, and it took me 15 minutes to get to the bar, my favorite spot. But Yeah,
That's because you know a lot of people.
It was great seeing everybody here tonight. Thank you all for coming out.
How much fun has it been? You did a trip to say, I want to do something fun and special. I want to get an Icon golf cart dealership in Wisconsin, the only one in Wisconsin, for electric golf carts. And you apparently are knocking it out of the ballpark because it seems like you put out a video saying, well, we got 10 new ones in. You want this one? You want the yellow one? You want the orange one? You want the green one? I mean, you guys are really doing some fun things. What made you decide to go that direction with what you got going in your life?
Well, I can tell you. It was about 2 years ago when Michelle and I were down in Florida. And I pulled over at this golf cart dealership. It was called Schaefer's. I'm like, God, you see those golf carts? Those things are really sharp. And I'm like, everybody up by us that's in a campground, and now they're legal in Random Lake and all the little villages around us. And I'm like, why don't we just start selling those? It seems to be a little more fun than selling trailers and cars. Not that I don't love trailers and cars.
But you also didn't have any to sell because you sold out of them all.
Well, and that's another thing. When the prices were up so high, used car prices are just crazy right now. And trailer prices were up so much. And I'm like, I want to do something else. So, and I can tell you, I sold number 101 this morning.
Whoa.
I had a goal of 50 to sell this year, and I sold 101 so far, which is crazy. And thank you. And everybody that buys a golf cart is happy. And I love dealing with happy people. I'm telling you, it's great. It's a lot of fun. No, it's been a great venture, and I got a nice product that we're selling. Icon's absolutely fantastic. They're great people to deal with. They're based out of Tampa, Florida. They have a plant in Huntersville, North Carolina as well. So it's been very easy to get carts. So I've been very fortunate. Let's put it that way. With the amount of people and amount of feedback, and the referral business has been great. I mean, a lot of my racing friends, thank you all for sending people my direction. I mean, it's above and beyond what I expected.
And soon we'll have like 25 different places where you never have to leave your golf cart to go to the store, the mall, the pharmacy. There's places like that you can drive them legally on the street everywhere.
Everywhere. Did you find the one I left in your driveway?
You did not. I did not. My wife might have just not told me about it. I didn't see that one.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That one might not be accounted for.
Is it street legal?
Well, it was.
Okay. Good to know.
It was.
I better call her. That's why we have a special co-host that demanded to be up here with us. He might be giving you some special award because Brad Miller this year not only raced at Slinger Super Speedway in a Midwest Truck Series race, he and Aaron Moyer put on a great show to win that one. So maybe that's why the clink was going on there. You guys have something in common.
I
You
never
win
even
races.
met this young man.
Yeah.
And I just seen him for the first time tonight, and I'm like, wow, he doesn't look that young. Wait till you're 53, then tell me how old you feel.
There you go.
Yeah.
You want to trade?
Maybe not.
Maybe not.
Well, all ex-racers, grow up to be promoters. But you got to be 60 to do it. You're doing a hell of a job, Johnny.
For being 55.
Bradley, you had a busy schedule. You bought a Midwest Truck Series truck last year and said, I want to go racing a few times. Maybe you got a young guy in there, a young gal in that truck. How much fun is it racing the Midwest Truck Series?
I'm here to tell you that what John Wood has going right now is probably one of the best things to happen to asphalt racing because you can still afford to do it. It's one tire a race, and the competition level is fantastic. What I love most about it is, like I said, I'm 53 years old, and all these younger kids that are getting into this truck series, coming out of legend cars.
Here, take his wallet.
Just gave me his wallet.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Legend cars. What's that other class?
Bandoleros?
Bandos. There you go. Levin, you used to race one of them, didn't you? I knew it. Anyways, and these kids are on kill.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, my God. Last year, when I raced the Dells, the Halloween show last year, I led most of it. And then with about 10 to go, this Tristan Swanson, how old was he last year? 16 or 17?
Yep. Really, really good young man.
Jeez, he drove by me like I was tied to a flagpole. Said, see you later, Miller. So I finished second to him, and this little Moyer boy here, he ran me off pretty hard this past year at Slinger. He did a hell of a job. So it's a lot of fun. My first truck race was last year at, where was it? Kaukauna, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
And who did I race with there?
James Lynch.
Yep.
Good
That
memory.
was one of
Good
the
memory.
greatest races I've
That was a
ever
lot
seen.
of fun. Him and I must have run side by side for 15, 20 laps. I swear to
Yep.
God, it
Yeah.
was a lot of fun.
It was
and there's
really
a lot
good.
of and what I love about your division, Johnny, is there's a lot of respect. You know, which is starting to disappear in motorsports, but there is a lot of respect in your series, and I think that the reason that there's a lot of respect is because you police that.
We do. I don't like any problems. You know, that's like Randy and I were talking about the teching, the respect. I mean, if somebody gets a little mean on the racetrack, they get scolded. You ought to hear Drew on Receiver. He goes nuts. It's but there's a reason. I mean, yeah, rubbing is racing, as they say, but you see so many people knocking somebody out of the way. That's not racing.
No.
You know, you and I are from old school, maybe a little bit, and no, I mean,
Not as old, but quite.
well, what I started, we didn't have Hoosiers.
No, you were on Fleet Farm specials back then.
Believe it or not, that's where we used to get our tires from.
Roadrunners.
Yep.
Yep,
And then
I
you
knew it.
And then you shaved them.
Yeah, you took them to Pomps for $5 and they shaved them for you?
We went to another place, but
Yeah, you shaved your own and used your own juice on them.
no. They said it was illegal.
But all in all, I'm telling you, if anybody here is looking to get into asphalt racing of any sort, look into the truck series. It's great. Aaron's found a home here. Levon grew up running a truck as well. And I don't want to say I'm backpedaling to a truck because I absolutely enjoy it. It's a lot of fun. It's a little less stressful than running a super late for me. And, everybody's very inviting. Johnny from him to Buck and Tack and Drew. Everybody's just really nice people to work with. And, it's not a lot of stress. We're super late racing these days. I mean, you're racing against a lot of full-time teams. And I try to go to Slinger, for that Elite 8 series this year. And it's tough. I mean, I did not have a good year at Slinger, and Slinger used to be my house. And it's not my house any longer. It seems like I've handed the sword down to these younger kids nowadays, but it's a tough place to race.
But you and Kevin Barker have something cooking there. You guys have a team that you necessarily don't have to be there all the time working on. I know you're very involved in it, but like you said, that's a tough nut to crack, especially that when you come to these bigger races, longer races, now there's fewer of them.
Right.
You got to be dialed in.
Kevin feels the same way. It's getting tougher for us. I mean, Kevin and I are close to the same age, and it's not that we want to pass the torch down, but we still want to do this because we still love it, and we grew up racing in the same deal all these years, and you couldn't ask for a better car owner than Kevin. We've been best of friends for 30 years, and it's just gotten tougher. It's just gotten tougher. You got to test more, and you got to have. It's just gotten to the point where you almost need a engineer to work on these cars, and I am the farthest thing from an engineer.
So you got Brad Miller here from BMRE Electric Carts and John Woods hanging out with us in the Midwest Truck Series, and I want to tell you about the fact that the only 8 races scheduled at Slinger, that got you a chance to race maybe a little more on dirt, maybe the same amount of dirt with the Wabam Dirt Kings and your home track at Plymouth.
We've had a really, really good year in Dirt Kings. I had a wreck back in June at Chilton, which took me out of the points because we couldn't run Shawano the next night. But the last 3 or 4 Dirt Kings races, we've been in the top 5 every night with a chance to win. So we've been really, really strong. So I'm looking forward to next year in that again.
How many guys and gals are part of your dirt deal that were part of your dirt deal when I started saying your name over the PA at Plymouth in 1989?
Boy, that's a tough one.
Ross is there. Who else?
Roscoe.
Well, Roscoe has not been with me as long as you guys think. Roscoe started with me back in 2001 or 2002.
Well, he fit right in. I thought he was one of the guys all the time.
Well, Roscoe was the guy that used to sit in the stands at Slinger all the time and tell me how to do things. And then finally I said, why don't you come down and show me how it's done? So ever since then, he's been part of my crew.
Cool.
But I do have a lot of crew guys that have been with me for 25 to 30 years, which is amazing and fantastic. I mean, I couldn't ask for a better bunch. And I get people that ask me all the time, how do you keep crew guys? I says, well, my crew guys are my best friends. So I don't just go racing with these guys. I spend time with them all year long. We're at my shop January, February, December, every Tuesday night and Thursday night. Whether we're working on something, talking about something, or, Johnny?
Yep. Liquefying, hydrating.
Exactly.
Yep.
But we have fun. And if you're not going to have fun racing, boys and girls, I'm telling you, it doesn't pay to do it.
Why do it?
Why do it? I mean, first things first. When you go to the racetrack, and Johnny will back me up on this, why do we go to the racetrack? It's not to win. It's to be with your friends, because racing is a family, you know?
You're wrong. I used to like to win.
You didn't win that much. I watched you. You didn't win that much.
Yeah, but I wrecked some shit, though.
Oh, did you ever? Oh, my God. I'm
Be
glad,
spectacular.
I'm glad you're still here with us,
Be
my friend.
spectacular, yeah.
But, no, it's just, I mean, look at all these people here. Why are they here? Because
love racing.
They love racing.
Yeah.
They love the racing family. And that's what, you know, like I tell my wife, it's like, I don't know what I would do if I couldn't go to the racetrack every weekend. So here's a perfect example, all right? Last Saturday, my son had a football game at 8 o'clock in Sheboygan Falls. He's 7th grade, plays football.
That'd be 8 in the morning then, because if he's that young. They don't play
8
at night.
at night.
What?
Yeah.
They play night games
I'm
for the kids?
telling you, yeah.
The little kids get,
he was
Ryder gets to play
falling
night
asleep.
games.
He was falling asleep on the field.
You're still up?
So, easy killer. So, I was working in the shop all day, and I told Michelle, I said about 3 o'clock, he says, you want to go to 141 and watch heat races? She's like, yeah, I don't care. Let's go do it. So I'm like, all right, let's go to 141. So we were there at 4 o'clock. We watched every freaking heat race from every class. And then we all said goodbye to our friends. Says, I got to go to my kid's football game. See you later. So 7 o'clock, we bolted out of Francis Creek and went down to my kid's football game. And then we met up from, I had my friend Nick Panitsky driving my late model last weekend up at Red Cedar. So they got rained out Saturday night. So 3 of my crew guys went up there to help Nick. Well, they got rained out. So they drove home. So we met him at Greg's Tap, one of my sponsors, at 11 o'clock at night after the football game and everything was over. We met him there and watched the Jackson 100 on TV.
Wow.
So, yeah, tell me I'm not goofy
You're
when
8
it
up
comes
with
to
it.
racing.
You're 8 up with it, man.
I
Big
know
time.
it. It's great.
Friends from everywhere like to hang out with you. Now you know why, because he likes to be everywhere, and racing is all you want to do.
That's right.
And
That's
sell
what I love.
golf and sell carts.
And I love selling carts.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
You ready for one?
Bradley, speaking of that, I got a golf cart that I use at every race. You know, got a lot of running around we got to do, and it's a Yamaha.
I'm sorry.
Well,
So it doesn't have electric, an
what do
Icon
I-
electric engine in it.
What do I?
No, I'm sorry. I did use your golf cart at Kakana this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do I got to do to get in one of your electric carts? Do we need to have a cooler full of beer and talk about it?
I think that's what we need to do, Johnny.
We can do it.
That's called the sidebar. Let's give it a nice hand for Brad Miller and Johnny Wood making deals up here, guys. Thanks for being on the show.
Thank you for having us, Jim. We always love being here.
Thank you for supporting our show as well. BMRE Electric Carts Company on Facebook is where you can buy your custom Icon cart.
On the corner of 57 and K in Random Lake.
Listen to that guy. Always selling. We're back with a lot more to tell you because we got some people to thank. We got some insights as well when it comes to automotive repair because we've got some really good guys that are sponsoring our show that are part of what we do. Charlie McCormick's here from ATD. We got he was at Crandon all weekend on Labor Day weekend. We also got Bobby Gutenecht in the house from Oak Creek Automotive. And we hope you can still join us. We've got some giveaways after the show. If you're close, come on down and join us. We've got some cool stuff to give away after the show as well here at Polly's. We'll be right back.
Thanks for tuning in to the Racing Roundup Show. Check out our website, racingroundup.show.com, and like our show on Facebook. Join us on Twitter and Instagram at Racing Roundup. We're coming right back after these messages from our awesome show sponsors.
Automatic Transmission Design is located in Germantown, Wisconsin. They've been hard at work the last 15 years in perfecting the best performance racing transmissions and converters. The folks at ATD have made it possible to offer the best quality and most affordably priced winning components for off-road, drag racing, truck pulling, and circle track applications. ATD may not be the biggest or most famous company in the marketplace, but they have the will and put in that extra effort to provide you with the best products available. ATD's certified technicians go through a comprehensive quality checklist on every transmission and converter they build. Then it's tested on their in-house dyno. Only then is the product ready for shipment to the customer. ATD takes these steps to provide you with the best quality products every time. They are 100% guaranteed. Their no returns policy makes sure it's right the first time. The next time you need a performance transmission or converter, give Charlie a call at 262-251-7777 or visit autotransdesign.com.
Interstate Batteries, proud sponsor of the Racing Roundup Show and the number 18 of Joe Gibbs Racing. Interstate Batteries is the #1 replacement battery in North America. You deserve the best, so get the best. Go to interstatebatteries.com. Go to interstatebatteries.com to find a dealer near you. Interstate Batteries, outrageously dependable. Get yours today. Race on.
Get your whole family involved in affordable, competitive kart racing at Millwright Raceway in Dousman, Wisconsin, home of the Badger Kart Club. Walk the pit area, talk to racers, and check out the action from the grandstands. There's a play area for the kids and great food at the concession stand. Spectator admission is free. Badger Kart Club points racers and National Touring Series race on the challenging paved road course most Sundays from April through September. Badger Kart Club is well established and well respected. There's 15 classes and over 100 drivers racing every week. From ages 5 to 75, kart racing offers competition for generations of racers of all ages. Bring the kids and check out kart racing for yourself at one of America's finest kart tracks. This is where Alan Kowicki, Danica Patrick, Sam Mayer, and Josh Palicki got their start. Millwright Raceway is just south of I-94 in Dousman, 35 miles west of Milwaukee, and 45 miles east of Madison. For all the latest information, directions, and race schedule, visit BadgerKartClub.com.
It's the granddaddy of short track racing in the Midwest. The 53rd running of the Oktoberfest race weekend. October 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th at La Crosse Fairgrounds Speedway. Don't miss the intense competition as drivers throughout the Midwest converge at La Crosse Speedway for 4 days of great stock car racing. On Thursday, see 6 divisions compete, including Super Late Model, Sportsman, and double features for the La Crosse Late Models. Friday, 3 divisions will grind it out, including the Super Late Models in the popular Dick Trickle 99, a 99-lap race run in 3 33-lap segments. Then on Saturday, 3 divisions, including the ARCA Midwest Tour Late Models. Then it's the Big 8 Late Models battling for their season championship. Sunday, you will see vintage race cars, late models, plus the granddaddy of all Midwest racing events, the Oktoberfest 200. 200 grueling laps of strategy, maneuvers, and hard-charging racing in Wisconsin's oldest and most prestigious short-track racing event. Attention, save with a multi-day wristband. It's the 53rd annual Oktoberfest race weekend, October 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th at La Crosse Fairgrounds Speedway. Visit OktoberfestRaceWeekend.com for details and advance tickets. Be there.
The Gravely Mower Series at Olson Outdoor Power is raising the bar on performance with smarter controls, longer run times, and more comfort. Add in layaway and financing from Olson's, and there's no lawn you can't conquer. Buy the best from the best. Gravely at Olson's Outdoor Power, Muskego.
This is America's longest-running weekly motorsports program, held in front of a live audience. Stay up to speed on the Wisconsin racing scene, NASCAR, and the world of motorsports every Tuesday at 6 p.m. Central. Thanks for joining us for the Racing Roundup Show. Once again, here is the trackside voice of the Daytona 500 and NASCAR at the track. You see him on MAV TV's live coverage of the Lucas Oil Chili Bowl and the ARCA Menard Series. The host of the Racing Roundup Show, Jim Trado.
Thanks again, everybody, for being part of our show. It's been a wonderful 38th season. We're rolling on. We ain't done yet. This portion of the show is brought to you by Schlafer Auto Body in Lannon. They can sell you a car, they can fix your car, they can fix your daily driver, they can fix your entire work fleet of vehicles. They work with every insurance company. They've been doing it for I don't know how many years, 1974, however many years that is. Ton of experience, 4 generations of racers. They can get it done for you. Search Schlafer Auto Body on Facebook to get in touch with this family of racers and check out their latest award-winning classic car restoration projects they do at Schlafer Auto Body. A couple more folks to thanks. Danny Lynch's Bar at Lincoln Avenue, Highway 100 in West Dallas. The Midwest Truck Series. Thank you, John Wood. Boring Bob's escorted NASCAR tours. Interstate Batteries of Southeast Wisconsin. Schlafer Auto Body. Allied Resource Recovery. Thank you, Phil Rayberg. And Badger Kart Club. Lots of folks to thank, and we're rolling on now. We see the logo on the screen. It's a magical time. Let's welcome in from ATD, Automatic Transition Design, Charlie McCormick. Charlie, thanks for coming on the show.
Thanks, Jim. I appreciate it.
Thanks for supporting the show.
Absolutely.
We know you love racing. We know you're ate up with it. Your family business. You and your son Michael, your wife Rachel is here. You guys are all about it. But I also know you love the passion of off-road racing.
That's true.
We had the granddaddy here, the big race over Labor Day weekend in Crandon.
Yep.
The championships.
Yep.
World championships.
World championships and the points championships.
How'd everything turn out for you and your customers?
Pretty freaking fabulous.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Love that.
We have a brand new Pro 2 champion, Jarrett Brooks. He's from San Diego, but spent the entire summer, his whole team was in Crandon. They bought a shop close to the racetrack and staged the whole year from that area. And Kyle Greaves, Johnny Greaves' nephew, won Pro Lite.
So there's Johnny and CJ, it's father's son, but now it's Johnny's nephew.
Johnny's nephew. So
yeah,
Kurt Greaves his father is Johnny's brother.
Okay.
So both of those guys, the Pro 2 and Pro Lite championships, literally came down to the last race. The Pro Lite championship was separated by 2 points. The Pro 2 championship was separated by 3 points. And Kyle hit it on the Pro Lite race, got the start, won the drag race down to turn 1, and never looked back. He led every single lap. He also led every single lap in the Pro Lite Challenge race on Sunday for the Red Bull money.
Ooh.
So he was hot all weekend.
Good.
Jarrett had to finish a couple of positions ahead of the guy that was the points leader at the time. Fortunately for Jarrett, Corey had a less than stellar weekend. He wasn't going to have a bad weekend. He was off for whatever reason. And Jarrett was able to get the championship. It's one that he desperately wanted. He was the points leader last year and got involved in an accident coming out of what they call the skybox turn and wrecked the truck, and he lost the championship to Keegan Kincaid.
Wow.
Which, for me, that was okay because they're both,
he's a client
both
too.
My guys.
Yeah, he's one of your guys. Yeah.
It was a lot of emotion wrapped around Jarrett getting the championship because the team had put so much effort into making the Champ Series their new home, coming all the way from the West Coast, and so it was very, very fruitful and personally rewarding. I've got a very close relationship with the Brooks family, so I was happy that it happened for them. We also won the Stock Truck Championship. Corey Holcher, who's part of the HBI team that is on that truck outside, he won the Stock Truck Championship. He didn't have nearly as much of a fight to win it, but he still had to be there in the end. So we had a very, very good year, very successful year. Fortunately, we were not in the trailer all hours of the night at any of the days. Well, just you buy the right stuff, it doesn't break.
So wait a minute. You go up there with a truck full of equipment. They know you're there. You can fix whatever they break, and you didn't have anything to fix?
Correct.
That's a really good thing.
But you know what the best thing was? Because I didn't have anything to fix, I got to spend time with my granddaughters who made it to the race. And they are the apple of my eye, absolutely. I mean, I just loved being there. So it was a lot of fun to be able to spend time with them away from the racetrack as well at the track.
That is cool. That is so cool.
And it, all around the whole season was pretty good for us. We had a couple of ups and downs, a little hiccups here and there, but because of our success with the guys that have been our customer for a long time, we're starting to see more and more guys are coming our way. And that's really the real reason we do what we do, especially at the racetrack, because off-road truck racing is so intense and so abusive. If you break a transmission and there's nobody there to fix it, you pretty much load your stuff up and go home. So we've committed to supporting the series. We're primarily there at the track to help the sportsmen who don't have the budget that the pros do. Certainly if a pro breaks his trans and he doesn't have the right spare, then we'll do what we can to fix it. But a lot of the stuff when we're doing in the trailer is to help the sportsman guys get back on the racetrack so they can have another chance at competition.
Hang out with Charlie from ATD Automatic Transmission Design. It's in Germantown. They have ASE certified mechanics. They can fix anything. They can design anything. They have proven racing equipment that you guys design, build, and maintain, and now win championships left and right.
Right.
It's a lot of work.
It is a lot of work.
And this year, I know that because the rules are such, and talking to you mainly, it was a completely reboot of championship off-road racing this year, where Crandon took more of a leadership role in saying, hey, hang on, we still got the big house. We need to be more involved than just say what sanctioning body wants to be here for a little while, or could this guy have enough money to make it go?
Right. And the sanctioning body and the tracks worked together very well this year. And it was evident because there was much more cohesion. Really the only track that suffered a bad week, and it was due to weather only, was Bark River. It was still good racing, but it was it was like racing in soup. That's the best way that I could describe it.
Gotcha.
I've been doing this for a really, really long time. Never came home as grubby and muddy as I did at that track. But nonetheless, it was still a very successful weekend for all the racers. There was no griping from anybody, including the crowd. The crowd was very well attended, and it's the vision that Champ has now in being able to bring cohesion because of their experience with the snowcross racing. It's really helped bring a lot of attention into off-road racing. They're planning on expanding the series. They took Mickey Thomas, who's from Dawsonville, Georgia. He's a Pro 2 racer, one of my customers, and Kyle LeDuc went to a track down in northwest of Atlanta, a new facility to build a racetrack for off-road truck racing.
Wow.
So supposedly, if this all happens, it's going to be the first race of the year, Memorial Day weekend next year. And then they're in talks with Lucas Oil to run the last race of the year at Lucas Oil Speedway in
Wheatley, Missouri. Yeah.
So there's a lot of energy from the drivers. A lot of the people that raced on the West Coast that know the Lucas Oil race are very, very energetic about going back there. They like that track. The Midwest guys are like, what are we getting into? But you talk to any kind of a seasoned driver, they all say the same thing. The track's the same for everybody. Let's just go get it. So the bookended races will probably be pro-only events just to keep the cost down for the sportsmen. But it still will prove to be a very interesting change. I mean, one of the racers that I've known for a really, really long time, Ryan Beat, has always said, we need new dirt. And he's not wrong. So he's very energetic. He's got a fairly big race team that he puts together. He actually hauled 5 different trucks to the track all season long. He's brought Chevrolet back into the picture. He's got a lot of well-recognized off-road type sponsors involved with the series. He helped Chevrolet and the series design a new truck class for a stepping stone getting out of the sportsman into the pros, not having to spend as much money to get into a Pro 2 or a Pro Late. That got a little bit of traction this year. He brought on a racer at the behest of Chevrolet, but also somebody to get some interest. And Gray Ledbetter went out there and won the championship. So we have a new female racer who's just 18 years old, just graduated from high school, is out there, waving a flag for off-road truck racing, and it's an important thing. I think it's very important to not only connect with the younger generation, but also to show women that there is an avenue forward for this type of racing. It's not all just grits and guts.
Yeah.
You got to have a brain too to make this stuff work.
Absolutely.
And I talked to her a couple of times. Mostly because of my association with Ryan, and I told her, I said, just don't overdrive it, because that's what she would do. She'd get anxious and overdrive it. I'm not going to say that I was helpful in getting her a championship, but I always say the only advice that you don't listen to is bad advice, and you don't know until somebody tells you. So we do carry a lot of passion for the truck racing, but the truck racing bleeds into the other stuff that we do. A lot of the really intense drag race stuff that we're involved with, we've learned how to make a transmission so that it won't fail. We know what, your 2,000 horsepower or 3,000 horsepower drag car is a brutal piece of equipment, but only has to live for 5 seconds.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can take a 900 horsepower truck that weighs 4,500 pounds and beat the living HEL out of it for 15, 20 minutes, and it still has a transmission in it. And Ryan Beat ran the whole season in Pro 2 on one transmission and one torque converter.
Wow.
He never pulled it out.
Wow.
And I kept telling him, Ryan, we need to look at that. Ryan, we need to look at that. He goes, it works fine.
That's a testament right there, man.
And I get a little nervous with these guys that are high profile and they do this stuff, but he told me, he says, Charlie, I'm trying to prove a point. And I've had other guys do that. Usually it's because there's not enough cushion in the wallet. Mm-hmm. But Ryan was very happy, and he made a point of finding me after Crandon and saying, I ran the whole season on that trans. You know that, right? And I said, yeah, I do know that.
Didn't come across the shop. Didn't need to be put across the shop. You got it done right the first time.
Exactly.
They can do that for your car as well. Auto Trans Design, give us a brief synopsis. What have you been working on as far as customer cars? Is there a wait? Can you roll in on a Tuesday and get your new shocks on Friday? What's your backlog like?
Our backlog is currently in the 3-week range.
Oh, okay.
A lot of it is due to the supply chain issues that are across the country.
Yep.
A lot of the regular vehicles that we work on are significantly more complicated than they used to be even 5 years ago. So the disassembly process takes longer than the reassembly process takes longer. And the internal components are significantly more complex. So it's, what normally would be, say, for your late 90s or early 2000s pickup truck, a 1 or 2 day turnaround from we take it apart, we fix the transmission, put it back together. Now it stretches into 4 or 5 days, plus the time that we have to have it in the shop to get it apart and back together. And if you drive a front-wheel drive-based all-wheel drive vehicle, it's like all of the stuff underneath your car ends up on my shop floor. So it's a very, very intense process. But we've got classic cars, collector cars. We've had antique stuff in there. I've actually got a guy sent me a transmission from the Eau Claire area out of a 59 Plymouth. He keeps calling me, is it done yet? Is it done yet? No, it's not done yet. We've got a few shops local to us geographically within, let's say, 100 or 150 miles that are sending us specific build type cars. There's a 55 Chevy up there with an LS power plant and an overdrive transmission that has some pretty serious issues. So we're able to do more than just fix your transmission. We can take your project car and actually make it a whole and complete piece, making correct converter recommendations, gear train, all the rest of the stuff, so that the whole package works the way the customer thinks it should, but doesn't know how to get from point A to point B.
Gotcha.
And,
hey, it's been fun having you on the show. It's fun having you, just the conversation. Hope you learned something like I do every time I talk to Charlie. Really appreciate you sponsoring our show again this year, and it's been great to have you on once again. Hope to have you on a couple more times next year as well.
I just want one last thing. We're very fortunate this year that we have two customers. One's a retired customer and one's a current customer that are being inducted into the Off-Road Motorsports Hall of Fame at the end of October in Las Vegas. Scotty Taylor, the 8-time world champion, and Brad Lovell, who was a Pro Light champion, is now currently running in the Desert Series, are both being inducted into the Off-Road Motorsports Hall of Fame. So that's a pretty big deal.
You are part of that.
Oh, yeah.
Are you going?
Scotty, oh, yeah. Scotty and I have been friends for a long, long time, and I saw him at Mitch Doerr's wedding last weekend. You remember Mitch?
Oh, yeah.
And we had quite a bit of catch-up going on, but it's like he walked out of the shop yesterday. I mean, just the time melted away. And
wow.
So it was really good. I'm very, very happy that Scott got inducted. I think it's long overdue. A lot of innovation from that man in all of off-road truck racing. But I took a program that was pretty terrible in the transmission department and put it together, and he won 7 straight championships.
Wow. Congratulations on that.
Yeah.
It's Automatic Transmission Design. Look him up on Facebook. It's Automatic Transmission Design. Look him up on Facebook or autotransdesign.com. Charlie, thank you again for coming here.
Thanks, Jim.
Being part of our show.
Yeah.
Getting it done. Charlie McCormick joining us here on the show. We're coming back with more people to thank, and we got Bill Hollins in the groove on the way. We've got some time to spend as well for some giveaways after the show. Come on down and join us. You still got a few minutes to join us here at Paulie's for our final show.
Join the racing crowd every Tuesday night at 6 p.m. Central all season long. Share what you love about short track racing on our Facebook page and on Twitter and Instagram at Racing Roundup. We'll be right back with more of the Racing Roundup Show.
Eliminate the hassles of planning a trip to the races. Hook up with Boring Bob's Escorted NASCAR Racing Tours. Boring Bob offers transportation, lodging, race tickets, nightlife, shuttle service, and more. Boring Bob knows all the back roads into and out of the racetrack to get you in and out fast. Pick one or pick them all. Go in style to Daytona, Bristol, Phoenix, Las Vegas, and more. He has decades of experience and industry contacts galore. You name the race, let Boring Bob do the rest. Call Boring Bob today to make plans now to go on one of Boring Bob's famous escorted NASCAR racing tours. Boring Bob's always at 414-321-1307. That's 414-321-1307. Olson's Outdoor Power Equipment is a fully equipped parts, sales, and service dealer of quality mowers, snow throws, trimmers, chainsaws, and more. Olson's Service What They Sell does warranty service work on big box store mowers, and their expert service technicians are ready to get your equipment running right. Put their stock parts department and friendly, knowledgeable staff to work for you. Visit the racers at Olson's Outdoor Power Equipment today at 14323 West College Avenue, just 1 mile east of Moreland Road in Muskego. Olson'sPower.com. Olson's Power Equipment.
Paulie's Pub and Eatery at 81st Street and Greenfield Avenue serves up Milwaukee's best pizza, outstanding wings, and a great pub menu. Paulie's Kitchen is open late every night with great nightly specials. Paulie's has a shuttle bus to all Brewers games. Party on the patio this summer with Paulie. Paulie's has 18 flat-screen TVs to catch all of your favorite sports. Stay up to speed and download Paulie's mobile app and receive a free 22-ounce tap beer. Paulie'sPubandEatery.com. Have you partied with Paulie?
At Automatic Transmission Design, we know your vehicle is important to you. When your transmission needs servicing, take it to the best. ATD in Germantown, Wisconsin. ATD understands how important it is to get your vehicle fixed right the first time. When you take your vehicle to ATD, our ASE trained technicians will run diagnostic tests to pinpoint the exact problem. ATD has been providing high-quality, honest repairs to customers for over 15 years. We service all makes and models using the best parts and equipment available. When you come to ATD, you will get an honest assessment of the problem, simple explanations, experienced technicians, competitive pricing, high-quality parts, and their 100% guarantee. Money is not the goal at ATD. It is the result of fixing the problem and returning the vehicle to you. That is their goal. The next time your vehicle needs quality transmission service, give Charlie a call at 262-251-7777 or visit autotransdesign.com.
427-1000 American Foundation.
When your foundation is in need of repair, you need three things: an honest opinion, quality work, and fair prices. Call American.
Trust and dedication. That's American Foundation.
Call American right now for huge savings.
427-1000 American Foundation.
Welcome back to the Racing Roundup Show, our final show of 2022. Thanks for being with us. Thanks for hanging out with us here. You can see our shows all year long at racingroundupshow.com. You can find us our YouTube page through that. You also can see it on our shows are posted on Flow Racing under the MAV TV on Flow Racing shows banner. So see that and enjoy the show. And you're in the middle of winter going, man, if I could only watch one more show. What did Bobby G say on that last show? Well, we'll tell you right now, it's live at Paulie's Pub and Eatery. And we want to thank a few more folks who helped us with our D'Angelo's Construction Road shows this year. Bonafide Security Solutions, Lake Park Pub in Menasha, Lamer's Driving Experience for Charity, D&H Sales and Service in Sheboygan, Obermeyer's Highway 41 Auto Body, and CK Contractors on our special June 29th Tuesday night race at Wilmot Raceway. Other folks to thank as well include Oak Creek Automotive, because without Bobby G, we probably wouldn't have a show through COVID on through. Bobby got us connected with a bunch of great folks, and we continue to enjoy our relationship. Let's welcome in Bobby Gutneck from Oak Creek Automotive. Bobby, thanks again for all you do for us and all the racers.
Well, thank you, Jim. Thank you, all you guys over there.
It's neat to know that you spend a lot of time at the racetrack, but you spend a lot of time at the real job. Man, you guys busy too at Oak Creek Automotive?
It's incredible. I'm back out in the shop working. It's just crazy. Can't find any mechanics, and I have a girl technician. She just had a baby a couple weeks ago, and I was up in Alaska, and so I had to go back out in the shop and do some work.
Alaska. You like going to Alaska?
Love it up there.
What'd you do this time?
Just fishing this time.
All right.
I took the piers out. Got it closed down for the winter.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So just so you know, Bobby Gutneck loves the fish but doesn't like to taste it.
Exactly.
So you don't eat it. You just catch it and let other people have the fun with you.
Give it away.
And you like hunting too.
Oh, I love hunting. The guy we go with, they shut down the king salmon fishing in the spring on the river. So that was his moneymaker.
In Alaska.
Yeah. So he went and bought a boat to go out in the ocean now and talked to us while we're up there, and we're going to be his guinea pigs. We're going back up in May, and he's going to take us out. He inherited some property on Prince William Sound, and we're going to go do some fishing and bear hunting.
Wow.
While we're up there. So we're trying to get Dean to come. I don't know if Dean can do the hunting part, but we'll get Dean up there.
I'm sure he could. Yeah.
Fishing part. And so that's what our plan is, to go back up there in May and help this guy get this new thing going, because the king salmons have gone. They let too much commercial fishermen, and they took too much lottery or whatever you want, allotment out. So.
Yep. Yeah. Well, Bobby Gutneck knows a lot about a lot of things.
Yeah.
Fixing cars at Oak Creek Automotive. Sponsored a bunch of race cars. We can't tell you how much fun we had at the Cellar both times. You and your friend Bill have something cooking there, because that's a great place, the Cellar in Oak Creek on Oakwood Road. Such a fun place to be, and you really turned it on nicely for all of us to enjoy. All the racers you get to sponsor, I'm sure they get a big bang out of it too.
Oh yeah, they all can't wait. They all keep telling me we should do 3 shows there, but I got to be in town for 3 shows.
That's kind of hard with your schedule between racetracks and fishing and stuff. When it comes to racing, though, I know at least one championship of the teams you sponsor is going to be locked up. James Swan, we learned tonight, has a really good chance to win the Midwest Truck Series title.
Yeah, he pretty much said all he's got to do is start the race, and he's got it done. Right. So that's a good thing.
That's a good thing.
Yep.
A lot of teams you sponsor, including your nephew, he had a shot at the championship at Slinger until everything went crazy. Is he doing okay?
Yeah, he's doing really good. Thanks to Tommy Hermatka giving us the car to try, and we really tried to get that championship yet, and we ended up losing by 5 points, but we still had an awesome season up there with Ryan, and I was gone this weekend. I did something different this weekend. Still went racing, but I went and supported my local racetracks.
Okay.
But supposedly they're going to take the motor out of the car that they wrecked it. It was a bad wreck up in Slinger a couple weeks back. I wasn't even there. I was in Alaska, but it's a Lampman chassis, and they have a stub there, so we're going to take the car completely apart, get the motor up to Wagner because they got the oil pan ripped off to hit the pipes, and see if we can straighten that frame out. If not, we got to come up with a plan B. But hopefully we can fix that car because it was really good to us all season, and hopefully Ryan and the boys over there can put the thing back together or come up with a different plan.
Speaking of Bobby Goodnick, he's always got a plan, and I know that for years and years and years, your plan has been race at Rockford during the National Short Track Championships. It's coming up this weekend, and then race the next weekend at La Crosse for Oktoberfest weekend, but the race in between is something you've gotten a really good handle on. Getting the camper in line to get a good spot on Monday morning, is it?
Correct, yes.
Is that still the plan for this year?
Yes. Well, I used to stay at Rockford through the night and leave early in the morning, drive all the way to La Crosse. One of our good friends that we raced against at Mid-Am has a shop like mine, kitty corner from the racetrack, Dan Gilster. So he said, why don't you just come up Sunday night, stay at my place, and you're there. That way, if you got any problems, you got all night to figure it out. So that's what I did last year. I met up with Brandy Ziegler, Zach's mother, and got up there early enough. There's a bowling alley across the street, so we indulged in some adult beverages and went back to Gilster, spent the night, and I was right in line and go back to they open up at noon, hurry up and put my camper in the spot, unhook, drive all the way back to Oak Creek, work Wednesday or Monday afternoon, all day Tuesday, Wednesday till 4, go back to La Crosse.
And are you racing anything this year?
I am not.
Okay.
I was going to race the guy that bought my car.
Mm-hmm.
When he first bought it, I said, the only race I like to do is Rockford. And I planned on it. And he raced this last Sunday up at Slinger, whatever, the last race night, and he got caught up in a little bit of a wreck. But I was so busy in my shop, I don't have time to go down and fix it. I am going to go to the next 2 races, Rockford and over to La Crosse. I'm going to be known as Chef Bobby. I'm going to cook. I'm going to cook for all the people, friends, and maybe bring some halibut along and cook some halibut for everybody.
Yeah, cool. That'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
You got to probably get dirty working on something, though.
Oh, you know me.
You can't just watch.
I just can't. Okay, so what I did this weekend, like I said, I have a really beautiful camper, gone all summer, so I didn't use it. I told Sandy, we're going racing this weekend. She said, what? I'm like, we went to Beaver Dam to watch the IRA and the non-wing cars, the sponsor cars there.
Yeah.
So we went to Beaver Dam Friday night, spent the night in the parking lot, got up the next morning, drove over to Plymouth, watched the championship over there, which was cool with watching Tim Cox co-win the championship. That was kind of cool. Spent the night there and drove to watch an asphalt race over in the Dells. And then, of course, they had a 2.5-hour delay during the Packer game. So we listened to the Packer game in my camper, which was nice and dry. And then got back home.
And you got sponsors. You get sponsor all the cars. Ryan Farrell was there. He fast time in the Outlaw late models. He was second fast time in the super lates.
Correct. And then Casey Johnson.
Yeah.
He had a good run. He finished third, and he was having some problems with the car and still got a third place finish. So it was a good day up there.
That sounds like a great weekend.
Mm-hmm. And then the other tracks, we had the Klemko's, who I sponsor, and the Jordan Paulson. So we had some cars to watch there. So Tyler Davis and Kurt Davis. And I mean, they had some problems at the Beaver Dam, but they went home and changed Tyler's motor and came back up with a old motor and still did very well.
So for those who don't know, Bobby's a little bit ate up with racing. So if you want to know more about his business, you probably have to see him in the shop if he has a chance coming out from underneath a car you're working on during the week. Give us a little rundown on Oak Creek Automotive and what you can provide folks that are listening and watching.
Pretty much anything. I mean, from pretty much oil changes to replaced engines. And the way the economy is right now, nobody can afford to buy used cars or new cars. So we've been putting a lot of engine transmissions, doing a lot of timing changes. People are fixing their old cars. And it's just, I got one guy that pretty much stays in the back of the shop all day and just works on all the heavy-duty stuff. because I'm the owner, I get to pick and choose what I want to work on. So I try to do brakes, exhaust, all the easy stuff.
Yeah.
And they all give me shit about it. Stuff about it. But it's my place. So I back out in the shop. I'm going to pick and choose what I want to do.
Well, you guys do a great business, and you support a bunch of racers. How about I say for Bobby Gutenack joining us here tonight, and you're a great supporter of our show. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bobby G.
You bet.
This past weekend was the big Midwest Championship Showdown at Dells Raceway Park. Here is Bill Holland's final installment of In the Groove and what all shook down for the big weekend at the Dells Raceway Park.
Hi, I'm Bill Holland in the Groove at Dells Raceway Park on Midwest Championship Weekend. We have a number of championships on the line with racing Friday night, Saturday night, and Sunday afternoon. There's a lot on the line this weekend. We'll get things started with the Pro Late Model battle on Friday night. Defending Dells Pro Late Model champ Jesse Bernhagen's going for a second straight track title.
Every time I hear back-to-back championships, I just think of a lot of the greats that have done it. And I also think of 2020 when we should have already be back-to-back champs, and I just screwed that one up that night. So there's some that stick with you. I'm pretty content with however this one turns out.
Second in points, fast qualifier Mike Litchfield. Over the past 2 seasons, no one's won more Pro Late Model features here, but the championship has been elusive.
It's like going into a fourth quarter of a basketball game, and instead of being down 12, be down 6 instead. So I'll take it. That's fine by me. We got nothing to lose really. Just go on out there, run our race, and see what happens when the dust all settles.
Six-time champion Nick Nolden sits third in the points with an outside shot at a 7th Pro Late Model title.
Anytime you come to the track and you can be in the mix, that's huge. If somehow we pulled it off, that'd be a 7th championship here. That'd just be unbelievable.
Nick Nolden in the 67 on the pole as the Pro Late Models take the green flag for 60 laps. The 6-time champ needs a big night, and he may be up to the task. The 67 out front, leading most of the way. Nolden leading Madeline Borntrager in the 08. Casey Johnson in the 5, Mike Litchfield 4th, Jesse Bernhagen in 5th, both right there. It's a tight battle for the win and for the championship. Johnson to the lead, Litchfield up to the 2nd spot. Casey Johnson will not give up the lead without a fight, but Mike Litchfield is right there and makes the pass to take over the top spot. Mike Litchfield goes on to win the Pro Late Model feature and win his very first Late Model championship at Dells Raceway Park.
We finished 2nd or 3rd 15 times in either weekly or touring points. So to finally get one really feels good. I'm just happy for my team, happy for my sponsors. It's a great feeling. We put our efforts into racing here at our weekly track, and to come out with the track championship, it's pretty awesome.
On Saturday night, the Central Wisconsin Racing Association Super Late Models are here for twin features that will decide the 2022 CWRA Championship. Minnesota's Paul Payne in the 27 leading Jesse Bernhagen in the 32 car. Good race up front, and Bernhagen goes around on the backstretch, bringing out the caution. Mark Eswine in the 71 comes in with a big point lead and only had to start the feature to win the championship. He has raced his way up to 3rd. At the finish, it's Paul Payne with the feature win, Eswine with the championship, as the rain begins and the second feature is called off.
He was faster than me on the longer run, but he got a little, I think, impatient and then got into me and took himself out. But way to go on him. He tapped out and said it was his fault and stuff, so that was awesome. And I was able to win that race. That was awesome.
This is my first CWRA championship, so I would say maybe back in the mid-90s we ran a couple full seasons of CWRA, but as of late this is our first attempt at running all the races, and lo and behold, at the end of tonight we sit on top of the standings.
On Sunday, the Tundra Super Late Model Series will crown a champion. Justin Mondyke in the 44 comes in with a 6-point lead. Dalton Zaire teaming with John Beal a very close second. Defending Tundra champion Riley Stenjum has an outside shot at a 2nd series championship.
We're going to worry about ourselves and try to get the race car as best as we can be and do the best we can, and if it's enough, it'll be enough, and we'll come out of here the champion, and if not, we'll hang our heads high.
Four-time Tundra champion Casey Johnson won the inaugural Carl Wegner Memorial Race. Lake Geneva's Jordan DeVoy won the Memorial last season. He's looking to go back-to-back.
He helped me out. He sold me a 5.3, and it changed my whole career. So I definitely owe it to him and the guys at Wagner for keeping me going.
Fast qualifier Mike Litchfield has a similar motivation.
Carl Wagner was in my dad's wedding, 41 years ago. This win would mean a lot to my dad, and if there's something I can do for him, I'm going to try my tail off to get him a win in this one.
The Big 8 late models, originally slated for Saturday, will race Sunday afternoon before the Tundra event. The 78-lap Dave Rodiger Memorial has Jesse Bernhagen out front in the 28 car. Point leader Dale Nottestad goes around in the 2. This will bring out the caution. Jordan DeVoy in the 22 and Nick Nolden battling for third. They get together coming out of turn 4. This tangle will put both cars out of the race. It'll come down to a 2-car battle. Bernhagen leading all the way, and Luke Westerberg coming on strong in the 16. Bernhagen will hold off Luke the Duke for his second Big 8 Series win and his first at Dells Raceway Park.
The Big 8 Series, we won the race in Toma this year. We started 2 Big 8 races. We won them both. So, yeah, I'm feeling pretty good about the Big 8 right now.
Former national short track champion Max Kaler and Jacob Nottestad in the 97. On the front row is We Go Green in the Carl Wegner Memorial 100. This race will decide the Tundra Super Late Model Season Championship. Kaler in the 17 with the early lead, but he'll give way to Nottestad. Dalton Zare right there in the 119 along with Kaler and defending race champion Jordan DeVoy in the 38. Second on back, it's Zare, Kaler, DeVoy, championship point leader Justin Mondijk in the 44 and Brock Heinrich with smoke coming out of Heinrich's 52 car. Race for the lead heating up. Dalton Zare muscles his way past Jacob Nottestad for the lead. His best hope for a championship is to win the race and put some distance between the 119 and Mondijk's 44. Justin Mondijk racing with Nottestad and Casey Johnson's 5 car in trouble. Jordan DeVoy in second place goes around. We are under caution as the skies open up and the fans look for cover. On the restart, here we go. Dalton Zare on the pole, Justin Mondijk to the outside. Time to settle things. Zare has been very fast and keeps the 119 out front. Behind the leader, Mike Litchfield, Casey Johnson, Ryan Farrell up to 6th in the 80 in big trouble. Farrell hard into the outside wall. That's a big hit. Very good to see Ryan Farrell up and out of the race car. Back to green flag racing, and this battle behind the leader just might settle the championship. Justin Mondijk battling for positions and points with Mike Litchfield in the 44 and Casey Johnson in the 5. Mondijk up to 3rd, gets the spot from Litchfield, which turns out to be a championship move. As Dalton Zare takes the win, Justin Mondijk in 2nd wins the 2022 Tundra Super Late Model Championship.
It's kind of odd that if we had called her at the halfway, we'd have won it. But today we got the show in, which is the way I prefer it. But we lost the championship because we got back on the track.
It feels really good, especially, State Park got rained out. We had a rough race at Plover. It kind of put us a little bit behind, but we kept grinding every single week, and we made sure we brought a fast race car today, and we took care of business.
A big weekend here at Dells Raceway Park, and it's been great covering racing events like this all season long. I'm Bill Holland. Thanks for watching. Much appreciate the chance to do this on the Racing Roundup Show.
Thank you, Bill Holland. What a great addition to our show this year. Absolutely. Give him a hand. One-man band, TV Bill. Really enjoy him as part of our show. We need to get sponsorship for him to get on our show every week next year as well. We are out of time. We're over time. We've never gone this long in our entire life, 38 years and counting. And guess what? 1 minute is all we have left in our 2022 season. We have a lot of people to thank. Thank you, Dave Schmelzer. Thank you, Matt Rapina. Thank you, Greg Lapine. Thank you, Dean Straum. Thank you, my son, Sam, for all the help and work. Sherry Prague, Mark Goodman, Bruce Blodgett, Faye Hendricks, thank you for your help every week as well. We couldn't do this without you guys as fans and our sponsors and supporters. We can't thank them enough. Go to our website, click on their logos, buy their stuff, support their businesses. That's what makes this show possible, and our love for short track racing and all things racing continues. hopefully for year 39 coming up in April. We're back here at Polly's if he lets us, and I think he said yes. So we're looking forward to seeing you back here in April for another season of the Racing Roundup Show. We've got a lot of folks to thank. We got some great prizes to give away, and look for updates on our socials at Racing Roundup on Twitter and Instagram, and on our website, racingroundupshow.com. I'm Jim Trado on behalf of the entire staff of our show. It takes a village. We can't thank you enough for being part of another great season of the Racing Roundup Show. Until April, set your DVRs, support your local racing, and have at it, racers.
Thank you for joining us for the Racing Roundup Show. Like our show on Facebook, contact us via our website, racingroundupshow.com, and interact with us on Twitter and Instagram at Racing Roundup. We are delivering fresh content every Tuesday at 6 p.m. Central. Until next time, race fans, support your local racetrack, set your DVR, and have at it, racers.